Oh, I had mine too.
Had a very nice call, as a matter of fact.
Me too.
Very cordial farewell.
Yes, me too.
Bye, Greg.
I was suspended one last time. No, just kidding. No, it was very cordial, and you know what?
You got 4 minutes. You might have that chance.
You know what? The guy took good care of me when all was said and done. I have no complaint. And
well, I thank them mostly for letting me be here and adding years to my life.
Yep.
Which, by the way, you'll be pleased to know my blood pressure is excellent, 111/66. I'm not going to die, contrary to the wishes of many of the agents provocateurs out there.
You know, by the way, who's here?
I'm no Ariel Sharon. Yes?
Eddie K. I thought Eddie K. was like Count Dracula, you know, that Renfield goes and opens up the casket.
It must be a cloudy day because of the sun
6 o'clock.
and he could never be there.
Yeah, exactly.
That is amazing.
Hey, I want to say a word, and I know you've talked about him a little bit. Chuck Zink passed away.
What a shame. What a good guy.
What a nice... He and I played golf together frequently. We were good friends for a long, long time.
And he had a good sense of humor.
Oh,
too.
yeah. He was a lot of fun to be around. Yeah. And everybody knew him. You know, I once was, he was going up to New York for a Muscular Dystrophy Association. He was a national vice chairman, and I was on the flight with him. And everybody came up and said hello to him, as Skipper Chuck, you know, and he never minded that.
I don't think anybody didn't like Skipper Chuck.
Yep. So, anyway,
just
sad day for me.
One thought on last night's game, by the way. It was an unbelievable game.
It was great.
Unbelievable. I think Texas deserved to win and USC deserved to lose because USC really in the first half they could have put that game away. They kept driving down the field and driving right down and then did some bonehead thing like Reggie Bush with that stupid lateral. I mean, give me a break.
And they couldn't make a 4th and 1.
Yeah, and not only that, then he goes for it on 4th and 2, which I thought Pete Carroll got out coached, which is why they lost the game there. At the
end. I thought so too. The defense they were in at the end of the game.
Yeah, basically what he was saying is I don't want to give them back the ball because I don't think we can stop them. And instead of backing them up maybe inside their own 10-yard line, he gives them the ball almost in midfield, like on a 42-yard line, and that was the end of that. But I'll tell you, that Vince Young, I've never seen anybody like him. They just couldn't tackle him. They just couldn't bring him down.
Yep. He's great.
I've never seen anything like that.
No, I enjoyed it.
Even on that 4th down play, you knew he was going to get in there. You just knew it.
Yep. Yeah, and everybody knew it but Southern Cal, who for some reason had everybody back in the end zone, didn't protect their outside.
Exactly.
And that's where Carroll, who's supposed to be a defensive guy.
All they had to do is knock him out of bounds, just have anybody over on that side and knock him out, but there was nobody near him.
All you had to do, you know what? All they had to do to prepare for that game was to watch the way the pros play against Michael Vick.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised Carroll didn't do that.
Well, he got out-coached, but it was still a phenomenal game.
Yes, it was. Particularly if you had the over.
Here we go again. What a degenerate.
By the way, one thing, the Minnesota Vikings, their 3 guys have been Dante Culpepper, Smoot, and Bryant McKinney, all charged with misdemeanor. Oh, yeah, and their running back, Mo Williams.
Mo? There you go. Oh, and I'm sure that Mo will be in this meeting today.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. Is he here? Not here yet.
Really?
Yeah.
What a shame.
I'll let you know.
Okay, let me know about Mo.
Yeah.
I'll come back and tell you. Going to be there.
Eddie K is here. He's got dark glasses on and he's barely squinting through them.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
And he's smart enough. And there's no racing today.
Not to be there during the daytime. No, but I got that Herald article about Gulfstream. It was really amusing. In fact, I even printed that out if I have time to get to it. Did you see it?
I have not seen the hair. I saw
all the old cockers there at Gulfstream. It was pretty funny.
No, I'll read it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got to run.
In fact, one of the guys' name was, I think, Irving Goldberg.
No relation.
Well, you never know. Might be a distant relative.
Different Alta Cocker.
Don't say that. He might have a lot of money. You never know.
Different Alta Cocker Goldberg.
Okay. Well, enjoy the meeting and give everybody a big kiss for me.
I will. I'll just tell him. Neil says hey.
And tell Greg thanks for the memory.
Or I'll say, since you're in Canada, Neil says hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's it going, eh? See ya.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Sick and needs help badly.
Aruba, Aruba, on the TV tuba. Aruba, Aruba, every day on the news. Aruba, Aruba, for headlines about Aruba. Aruba, Aruba, useful subterfuge. Terry Shiloh died.
Cube.
And goes under investigation now. Info that you must not know, and so the Iron Curtain must come down. You apathetic fools, cover up 10 lies. He flipped you off right before your eyes. I wonder how you'll react when you discover you need real ID. That's something else you're not betrayal and treason, war without a reason. Bolton and Abrams, Grove and Negroponte, traitor and criminal, liars who do things that they don't want you to know. One day you'll wake up and see your freedoms go for the ultimate reality show. Let's get back to Aruba, 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 Aruba. You rubes up, Aruba, 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 Aruba. No more Terry and Cuba.
Yeah, what would Rita Cosby do? Poor Rita, if we didn't have the chicken Aruba and the coal miners, huh?
No, is she fat? I was just seeing a picture of her.
Oh, yeah. She's fat and got a fat head. Fat head. So they have her wear scarves a lot of time, try to cover up the fact she's got that fat neck.
And turtlenecks.
Yeah. Keep your chins up, Rita. Don't worry about those numbers. She's disgusting. She's just nauseating. And she can't speak. But other than that, what a great... I'll tell you who I really like, and I should have mentioned it to the Humper, but we didn't have time, is Keith Olbermann. I'm liking him more and more. He's got a good show.
All right.
Nobody watches MSNBC, but of anybody they got on there, he's pretty good. But, of course, you don't even know who that is.
No, I don't.
I bet you Josh knows who that is because of the Sports Factor.
Right, he was on SportsCenter.
Josh, who picked Texas to win yesterday, and we congratulate him on a magnificent pick, but nevertheless, like I said, USC should have blown him out in the first half. They just kept doing stupid things, man. They just mismanaged, and they deserved to lose. Texas deserved to win, and USC deserved to lose, and that's the way it was.
That is correct.
But that was a phenomenal game, boy.
Awesome.
Oh, and what else? Don't let me forget tomorrow, because we'll have more time with the Humper. Keith Jackson was so bad last night that I feel bad for him. That's how bad he was.
Well, that's what happens when you call like 2 games a year.
Well, not only that, but when you get to be 100 years old, I mean, there comes a point when you just hang it up and say, you know, I always liked Keith Jackson. He was fun, and he had that drawl and the whole deal. He was okay. But he needed a compass and a roadmap last night. Evidently, the ABC couldn't afford one. He had no idea what was going on.
No, he didn't. You were just listening, and you were saying, oh, Nelly.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Neely. He was not good. But at any rate, the game was great. Even his horrendous performance couldn't detract from that. Well, I don't want to detract from your enjoyment of this great Thursday, but 5 U.S. soldiers were killed when a roadside bomb hit their vehicle while on patrol in Baghdad today, and another 2 American soldiers were killed by a roadside bomb near Najaf, so that's 7 more today. Police had earlier said that only 2 civilians were killed in Najaf, but come to find out 2 American soldiers as well. Before we go to Skipper Chuck, that's really sad.
Yeah, it is.
See what I tell you about the good people, although 80 isn't exactly young, but, for him it was young. And the good people die young. And, of course, that fat Ariel Sharon. Have another cheeseburger, Ariel. By the way, nobody told him it was trafe. Not that he would care, I guess. I guess you're not one of those people that's real careful about your culinary enterprises.
He didn't have that look about him.
I told you, they actually gave after he had the first stroke a couple of weeks ago, they gave the rundown on what he had for dinner the night before. They weren't joking about hamburgers and lamb chops and beef kebab and a couple of other things, followed by 2 huge servings of chocolate cake. In fact, there he is right now. Look at that. I mean, when you're 77 years old and you weigh 700 pounds, it shouldn't come as any surprise. And then they were joking about, in between the 2 strokes, about, his doctor told him to go on a diet. And he's going, yeah, like that. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Won't see him no more. He's still alive, though, for anybody that's, glued to that, Ariel Sharon. Old fat Jew. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Oh, and I got a great story about a pizza thief. That's what I want to do before I do Skipper Chuck and the polls and all that stuff. Nothing worse than a pizza thief, you know what? Remember that song by Gary Lewis and the Playboys, Everybody Loves a Clown?
Right.
Well, everybody hates a pizza thief. Kansas City, Missouri. A man apparently looking for free lunch was arrested for allegedly assaulting a pizza delivery man. I can only think of 2 pizza thieves, and one would go, Lionel Tate, right?
That's right.
Slimy Lionel. And then, of course, that other one. Police say Virgil Dennis ordered 3 pies from Pizza Hut at lunchtime Tuesday and gave the address of a vacant apartment downstairs from his own. When the driver arrived, the authorities say 22-year-old Dennis pressed a knife against the delivery man's neck and demanded the pizzas. The crime was He didn't want money, he just wanted a pie, that's all. The crime was reported and police traced the number Dennis provided Pizza Hut to an apartment 2 floors up from the one where the pies were delivered. He was real clever. When officers arrived there, they said a young man and woman opened the door holding a small girl who was eating a slice of pizza. That was our first clue, said Officer George Springer, who is almost as good as Sherlock Holmes. Officers said they found Dennis hiding in the bat room. While police waited for an officer to return with a delivery driver to identify his assailant, Dennis bolted from the apartment barefoot, handcuffs still dangling on one wrist. This guy jumps across about 6 different balconies, scales down the second floor, said Officer Darren Snap. After a brief struggle in the parking lot, police got him under control. The driver identified Dennis as the pizza thief. Jackson County prosecutors charged Dennis with first-degree robbery, armed criminal action. Police returned the uneaten slices to Pizza Hut, which they probably put on their buffet later on.
I would imagine.
They returned the uneaten slices to Pizza Hut? I mean, come on. Cracker, please. That a little bit silly?
A little bit.
Well, okay, let's do the poll result from yesterday, and then poor Skipper Chuck, it's really tragic.
Yep.
And Ariel Sharon, well, that's more expected, I would think. You know, when you weigh, like I said, 2,000 pounds, and you're 77 years old and you can barely walk, that doesn't bode well for a long whatever. Here's our poll yesterday. We took 1,377 votes, and then I sneaked the other one in there last night when they least expected it. I like doing that. Because when you come up with another poll and Eric gets it on there real quick, why not, you know?
Right.
Neil Rogers is very entertaining, 509 out of 1,377. A voice of reason, 296.
Absolutely.
A genius, 155. A fat old fag, 147.
Absolutely.
God, 106. A panic, 67. Stale,
Absolutely.
48. Divisive, 16. The Antichrist, 15. Boring and a bigot, only 9 apiece. Out of 1,377 votes. Well, at least we're not boring on this show anyway, okay? One thing to be stale, but even stale can be, like, tasty if you're really hungry.
Like crackers?
Right, like old matzah, man. Just slob a little butter on that thing and some salt, and you'd be amazed at how, when you're really desperate, down and out. Your day's coming for that.
What, to be desperate? No, I've been there, done that.
That's what I mean, like tomorrow. Skipper Chuck, 80, dies following a stroke. Boy. There is a guy, I mean, talk about local broadcasting legends.
Right.
How many local broadcasting legends would you say there have been in radio and TV? I'd say...
From this town?
Rick Shaw. Yeah,
right.
In South Florida. Rick Shaw.
Okay.
Ralph Redneck.
Mm-hmm.
Skipper Chuck.
Right.
Bob Weaver.
Okay. What about John Hambrick? Does he qualify?
No.
Okay.
He wasn't there long enough.
All right.
It was good. It was very good. Probably the best news anchor we ever had, but not there long enough. And now you're not going to be too many legends now because they're there like for about 5 minutes. Oh, and you'll never guess who was doing the news at noon one of the days I was there. On Channel 4. That should give you a little clue. Cackling, puking Angela Ray.
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, things are just as bad as ever. Anyway, Chuck D. Zink. No, remember the remote we did? Rick, yeah, I guess we did one there too, but Rick and Suds were on doing a remote from someplace. Where was that? In the Grove or somewhere?
I don't know.
You were there.
I was.
And Skipper Chuck was one of the guests.
Then I wasn't there.
And I was there, and I guess I had done my show there, and they were like doing the afternoon still at that point. And Skipper Chuck was there, and I was like giving a couple of raspberries, you know, and he had a good sense of humor. He was fun. Mm-hmm. Didn't take himself too seriously.
Good guy.
There's nothing worse than somebody who takes himself too seriously.
Absolutely.
Chuck D. Zink, known to hundreds of thousands of South Florida baby boom kids as Skipper Chuck, has wished his fans peace, love, and happiness for the last time. Zink, 80, has died at a Boca hospice following a stroke. A lifelong entertainer, Zink was best known as the spirited host of the Popeye Playhouse, morning children's show on the old WTVJ for nearly a quarter of a century from 57 to 79. At one point, the waiting list to be one of the 30 to 35 kids who got to enjoy the show live in the studio reached 2 years. Waiting list of 2 years. Even Alex Bennett didn't have that. In 1972, an estimated 49% of Dade, Broward, and Monroe County TVs regularly tuned into a 7 a.m. broadcast. That's almost half. 49 share. In a Miami Herald Tropic interview that year, Zink attributed his success to his genuineness. You're sure as heck never going to last in the kid business being anybody but yourself, he told writer Robert Bonin. Kids can spot a phony a mile away, and they'll tell you if you are. I'm a guy who hopes I hope these kids like to look up to. He said, I suppose as Skipper Chuck, I can be sort of a hero to them. We all need a hero. I've never tried to be a father image or a big brother. I just tried to be me. Although rare was the day in Zink's life that he wasn't greeted by, "There's Skipper Chuck." Children were not his only audience. Zink spent 12 years as the announcer for the Jackie Gleason Show. I never knew that. Did you know that?
Nope.
And hosted Miss Universe pageants around the globe for CBS. He also hosted 22 King Orange parades, 24 local broadcasts of Labor Day telethons, and several quiz shows and travel programs. He even once tried to host the Orange Bowl parade on radio after he was booted from the annual TV broadcast to make way for the younger talent, recalled his co-host at the time, current WLRN Miami Herald Radio news anchor Rhonda Victor. Good old Rhonda. I worked with Rhonda at a couple of stations.
She's on NPR now.
There was an outcry from a lot of traditionalists who were unhappy to see Chuck go, said Victor, who twice as a child was among the Popeye Playhouse studio audience. WKAT, thinking it could capitalize, decided Chuck and I could co-host that Orange Bowl parade on radio. It wasn't the best executed plan ever, but we had a ball, she said. Listeners to WJNA 640 AM heard Zink as a disc jockey of his daily Lunch Bunch radio program featuring music of the 40s and 50s, which he hosted until last fall. And in recent years, he was a familiar TV pitchman for the Cemetery Village communities. I felt bad about that, you know.
Well, you got to make a living, you know.
I know, but, you know, it's kind of like saying, well, I'm getting old, so therefore all you old farts out there, I'm your hero now. He was always brimming with new concepts to pursue, said Doris Bernhard, who produced Zink's children's show in his later years and worked with him on many other projects. Right up until the last time I saw him around Labor Day, he was planning 3 different shows that he wanted to do, and I was putting them together for him, Bernhard said. Zink, as an only child, was born in South Bend, Indiana, grew up as a farm boy. He spent 5 years in the Marines, served as sergeant in the South Pacific during WW2, receiving a Bronze Star for bravery. He later worked in a variety of radio jobs in Pennsylvania, from disc jockey to program director, before making the jump to TV as a newscaster. He came to Miami in '56, began working as a weatherman for WTVJ. The following year, he was asked to write and host a kids program. I started out and thought it might last 6 months. He said it went on for 23 years. As Skipper, Chuck employed occasional set pieces, but mostly he and his longtime sidekick Scrubby, played by Richard Andrews, followed an ad-lib format. Zink opened each show with a 3-finger wave, and another standby was the song Peace, Love, and Happiness. The live audience was filled with kids who sat in bleachers, cheered, played games, and chatted with Skipper, Chuck, Scrubby, and other show's characters. Zink didn't claim to be broadcasting educational TV. "I'm not an educator, I'm an entertainer," he once said, but he took a courageous moral stand in the 50s when he insisted that the in-studio audiences for the Popeye Playhouse no longer be racially segregated. This was unprecedented for a Southern TV station in that day, which earned Zink national praise. In its early days, Zink said the Playhouse had been playing either to all-black or all-white studio audiences. One day he heard the program's reservation taker asking a phone caller, "Are you colored?" Incredulously ordered the person, "Never ask that question again." The show went through pure hell making the policy stick, Zink said. The show also went on to win 2 regional Emmy Awards. Zink and his wife Clarice never had children, a fact that Zink said gave him greater patience with kids than if he were his own, etc. How you like that? We'll miss him, Skipper Chuck, good guy. A legend in South Florida.
Right.
He was no Dickie Farkle, man,
no.
But he had his moments.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
You idiot. Whoever told you that you could work with men? What you're hired for is to help us. Does that seem clear to you? To help us. To help men who are going out there to try to earn a living. You company man. You fairy.
Oh, this isn't the one I wanted to play. Sorry, my bad. Well, no, that's you know, have you ever done that?
Are you kidding me?
Huh?
How many times a day?
No. Where's the one that I wanted to play? I think it goes like...
Around here somewhere. Is that it?
First, I gotta stop the other one first.
Oh.
I think it goes like this. But then again, I could be wrong.
Goodbye, Don Corleone. Now you're back for born. And I saw lots of Hagen to tell Sonny that he's got bad news. That this time, you're not still alive. That should come as no surprise. Because you're a great big fatso. The one's jambori to many. You're losing millions of dollars to the tailor to take off your pants. And, if 2 tons are good, your puppet finally burst. I don't want my children to see me this way. And as for Sonny, it's too bad he didn't have a turnpike easy pass. And Al Pacino hasn't had a good role It's in Glengarry Glen Road.
$6,000. You fairy.
You should know better not to put an orange in your mouth.
Goodbye, Don Corleone. Rhymes with goodbye, Ariel Sharon. You know what?
Any minute now.
And it wouldn't surprise me if we have a goodbye Skipper Chuck coming up soon. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think so. Speaking of Ariel Sharon, he ain't in good shape. He weighs 848 pounds. They're getting the piano case ready. I don't know what that means. Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon emerged from emergency brain surgery this morning after suffering a massive stroke as the national vigil over his life continued. Doctors said his vital signs appeared normal, but that his condition remained, and this is not a good choice of words, I don't think, his condition remained grave.
Oh, ooh.
Isn't that a bad word?
Yeah, it is.
Grave.
They should just
Not
say
good.
like poor or something.
Speaking of graves, they better get a bunch ready in Iraq because we got more bad news besides the 7 more American soldiers who are dead. Not that we're counting, by the way. It's for a very good cause. 2 suicide bombers killed at least 110 people. And this is about the 4th time I printed this story out this morning. Because the number keeps going up and up and up and up. First it was 80 and then it was 92. Now it's 110. And wounded more than 200 more in the Iraqi cities of Karbala and Ramadi today. The second consecutive day of concerted insurgent attacks. The insurgency is waning, though. Don't forget your Vice President Dick told us that about a year ago now. It's waning.
Again?
It's waning, men. Another 3 bombs exploded in Baghdad, 2 of them detonated by suicide bombers, and a roadside bomb targeted a U.S. convoy near the holy city of Najaf, destroying a Humvee and killing at least 2 civilians there. Coming a day after 58 other people died in a wave of bombings and shootings, the latest bloodshed appeared certain to ratchet up tension between the Sunnis and the Shiites. And meanwhile, the Kurds are busy hooking up that long tube to the oil pipeline. But nevertheless. And also in Afghanistan, see, if we would have concentrated on doing like one job and gotten it done right, which we never do, like the Taliban. They were done, the Taliban, but evidently not.
I don't think about Osama.
Suspected Taliban militants have beheaded a headmaster in a central Afghan town, the latest in a string of attacks on teachers and schools in the volatile region, officials said yesterday. The decapitated body of Malim Abdul Habib was found on his home in Kalat town on Wednesday, said Ali Khalil. But maybe it's just me, you know. Their names just sound all the same to me. It must be just me. Assailants were believed to have killed him late Tuesday in front of his family after breaking into the house. Habib was the headmaster of the Sheikh Mati Baba High School, which is attended by some... Well, that's right next to Ali Baba and all those thieves, which is attended by some 1,300 boys and girls. See, that's the chigger in the woodpile is the girls. They don't like that.
Yeah.
Zabul Province's education director blamed the Taliban for the killing. Only the Taliban are against girls being educated. He said the Taliban often attack our teachers and beat them, but this is the first time one's been killed in this province. The insurgents in the past year have occasionally put up posters around Kalat demanding that girls' schools be closed-did and threatening to kill teachers. Don't be teaching them girls, okay? They're only good for 1 or 2 things, and learning ain't one of them.
They might have a point.
Yeah. Oh, really? Says the man with two daughters, no less.
That's right.
Like I said. And a wife, but nevertheless. And that was a hell of a game last night. Too bad you're not into football.
Oh, yeah.
Josh will tell you all about it. He'll give you the lowdown during the break.
I'll give him the inside after the show.
Well, you won't have time to during these breaks today. No.
Not right about that.
This is quite a testimony. Now, wasn't I saying when George was on vacation about the fact that there was no sales holes around? Wasn't I saying, Josh, that after the first of the year we'll have an empty log because they're not doing anything?
Yeah, pretty sure you said that.
And guess what? It became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Not that we care anymore. And by the way, Clarence, you're a slow learner. Although he's not listening anyway. He's in that big meeting with Greg, who's saying goodbye. Yeah, he called me. The phone rang about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Neil, it's Greg Reed. And I thought, you know what I thought to myself when I heard Greg? Yeah. Because haven't I been saying that once Ray Perry left and Duff got demoted to sales hole, that that was the definitive sign that he was no longer going to be GM? He's going to be a consultant for the company. And he's going to have several other stations out on the West Coast he's going to be consulting as well. At any rate, no, we had a very cordial conversation, and he was very complimentary and kissed my ass on both cheeks, and even a little in the middle, too. It was pretty embarrassing, just licky-licky. It was very, very nice. No hostility, no, best of luck, and have a great life. You know, there's an interesting pull at the Sun Sentinels thing, because I get all... Like the guy that called who said that he was in Oakville. Remember that yesterday? The guy was in Oakville, Ontario.
Okay.
Giving me a song and a dance about how crime is just as bad in Toronto and all that. And, and the high price of gas, which he's right about the gas. But that would be like my coming to South Florida and going to Lantana for a couple of days and then giving you a lecture about what Dade and Broward are like all about. And it's just Oakville. I mean, Oakville, first of all, is like 40, at least 40 miles from here. It's like a little podunk suburb out in Yedemsveld in the middle of nowhere, and this guy's an expert. And then we had another fact, which I didn't even bother with, the essence of, well, everybody's coming in, they're pouring into South Florida, and you're like knocking it. The Sun Sentinel took a really interesting poll. They got 6,568 responses last time I checked it. The cost of living is soaring in South Florida. Real estate, insurance, gas, utilities, property tax bills, even our restaurants are now among the costliest in the U.S. Have you considered moving? Have you considered moving?
That's a trick question.
6,568 votes. 21.1% say no, South Florida is home. 7% say no, every place else I would live is just as expensive. 41.1% say yes, I've thought about it, but a move would be too complicated at the moment. And 30.8% say yes, I'm actively looking to move. So you add those last two categories, you've got about 72%. Who are either dying to get out or like already in the planning. So the fact that a lot of other suckers, a lot of other folks are coming down and hopping up the properties and so on, and thinking that they're going to have fun in the sun and it's at paradise. Well, that's we'll see how long they last.
Right. By the way, expensive wouldn't be so bad if it was worth it.
Right. Right. Like here, it's not cheap living here at all. Far from it. Man, if you had any idea what I'm paying for rent here, you'd fall off the chair right there. And the price of there are no bargains here, man, especially now that the Canadian dollar has moved back up there to like 87 cents. When I came here, it was like 62 cents against the American. Now it's 87. That's a quarter on every dollar that I've lost in the last, 4 years, what it is, what it be. So it's not cheap, but again, it's worth paying if you're getting something in return. It's like West Europe is certainly not cheap. Any of those countries there. My goodness. Cost mucho dinero. Molto caro. But nevertheless, it's worth it to a lot of people. And, of course, our audience thinks, oh, gee, no, you're wrong, Neil. Everybody wants to come to South Florida. Oh. So they'll be passing most of you folks as you're on the way out. They'll be just wave, hey, good luck to you. You'll need it. How about today's poll? What do you think?
About what?
Our goal is 1,000 votes today, and since I put it on there about 7 o'clock last night, we already got 790. 790. Uh-oh. You see the symbolism there? Mm-hmm. 790. Dun, 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 dun. I think Joel Feinberg fixed that. The most overdone news story of the past year is the missing chick in Aruba, 272. Terry and her tuba, 205. Pretty good second place. The runaway bride, 145. Michael Jackson trial, 68. Fort Lauderdale kid goes to Iraq, 39. Rosa Parks dies, 16. Hurricane Katrina, 16. The war in Iraq, 12. New Nazi Pope, 7. Coal miners, 7. That's just ridiculous. There are only 7 people think that's the most overdone story of the last year. Wow.
I told you,
they're still hawking away on it, man. They're just obsessed, like a sickness, like a disease.
A year from now, when they're still hawking about it, then it'll be a contender.
Oh, and they will be. Supreme Court nominations, 5. Republican scandals, 3. Hurricane Wilma, 2. The Iraq elections, 2. And none for the London bombings in the Cube. And 0 for the Asian earthquake. 799, which is just fine, if you ask me. Let's look at that award-winning lineup for Thursday. Mo Howard David did at 2. Mad Dog's got 3 solid hours tonight. Boy, I sure hope he's in training. 4 to 7. Now, is everybody in the meeting? Did all those people show up that work at other times, or is that just...
How do we know? We have no winders.
Well, you ought to get some scuttlebutt.
Scuttle over there and look in the...
Hurricane Hotline at Bernie Kosar's at 7. I'm sure they'll be talking about the fired coaches and about that tremendous performance in the Chick-fil-A Pizza Bowl. The Beast at Bernie's at 9 o'clock, and then Eddie K at 10 o'clock tonight. Long day for the K-Man.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Is Plato's Retreat.
She has gone militant. She has put on a veil and strapped on some explosives and is looking for someplace to detonate it. Rattel Toys introduces to you Jihad Barbie. Jihad Barbie comes with her own Toyota pickup truck, which she is not allowed to be driving. Several traditional burkas and the plans to blow up an embassy or outdoor market. You are making the choice. Jihad Barbie comes complete with detonating device that may or may not work, just like the real ones. So get Jihad Barbie today and start planning your own jihad. Jihad Barbie, on sale at all Baghdad toy stores now, just in time for the infidel holiday season.
What does it say about a place when 72% of the people want out? What does that tell you?
That it might not be a great place to live.
Not good. Nicht good. Okay, let's get a lot of calls in here today for crying out loud. Skipper Chuck dies, and you'd think these phones would be lit up like a Christmas tree, like a Hanukkah bush, wouldn't you?
Oh, we talked about it Monday and Tuesday.
You did?
I did.
Well, why is that?
Somebody faxed in during the previous week that
I knew he had a stroke. We mentioned it last.
And I talked about it, and it, did a chain reaction thing. People were calling up saying, that, hey, I was on the show and he was really cool, and things like that. I got a big sugar daddy. They gave those to the kids.
Oh, I see.
A big sugar daddy.
I thought maybe you were making like a statement.
No.
5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon and Singular Wireless Center. Maybe just a wish list for the new year. I'm not sure what that was. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, good morning.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about Keith Olbermann. I'm pretty much the only one that watches that show also, I guess.
You and me, we're the two.
It's a pretty good show. And now about Keith Jackson last night, pretty much hilarious. This is a quote. The stadium is full of Texas orange and also USC. Silent pause. He didn't know what colors USC was.
Yeah, well, there was a trivia question they had late in the game, and it was about what USC player. What was the question? I forget what the question was, but he's won the MVP, the Rose Bowl MVP, more than 2 times or more.
It wasn't USC player, but that was the question.
Well,
he was just.
And he left the 2 times. He left the 2 times part of it out. He didn't read the whole thing. He was incoherent, man. He was embarrassing.
Love you, Neil.
Thanks. Put him out to pasture, okay? And again, this is not a guy I ever disliked. I always thought he was fine. I enjoyed him. But there comes a time when you get to be 110, it's time to say bye-bye. God. I wonder when Barry Jackass is going to get around to analyzing that and ripping him the big fat ass that he deserves. Barry. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I heard you talking about Miami. I thought I'd throw my 2 cents at you.
Yeah.
I was born here and raised, and I'm Yidlock, and I do my work here, started my business here. But the city drives me nuts with the traffic and the crazy people from everywhere.
Yeah.
It takes an hour to get everywhere, and customer service just doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
There's no responsibility and no accountability. But I don't know, my family's here, and it's beautiful, and I like the weather. I don't know if I'd want to go freeze my ass off up there next to you.
Yeah. Well, the weather's not everything. Yesterday it was like 41. It felt like 60 to me. It's just not that bad, not that extreme.
No, I
can see why nobody wants to live in Buffalo or Detroit or places like that, but...
Well, not just because of the weather, of course.
Right, exactly.
Right. No, I loved you used to have a line that you used to say that nothing's wrong with Miami that a complete people transplant couldn't take care of.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with the area. I mean, it's a beautiful place, but you just got the wrong people there.
Right. Love you, Neil.
Good luck, Pally. Hang in there.
All right.
Somebody has to. Oh, Neil, you're wrong, man. People are just dying. They're flooding in here to South Florida. You got too many of them, and too many of the wrong people, see. If they're being replaced by the right people, that would be a different story.
We should have auditions.
Like those people at Fort Lauderdale Airport on Monday. Who were they? I kept thinking to myself, who are these people? I mean, these aren't, this sure isn't my audience, and these aren't people that I've ever met, or they just, I don't know.
Maybe the same people at the mall last time I was there.
Oh, well, how about the Sawgrass? Who are those people?
I don't know.
You're walking in the Sawgrass, and it's like like the United Nations.
Oh, you're walking over in Aventura, and it's a flesh fest. And some Hasidim, too, yeah.
A flesh fest?
I'm telling you.
Well, now we're talking my language. That's like going to Fallsview Casino, man. Just sit there and let your tongue lick the tops of your shoes. Or whatever it can lick. 5670560. Get your licks on Route 66. Remember that show with George Maharis or whoever the hell it was?
No.
Hey, George.
You fairy.
I'll play the theme for you if you want.
Okay. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy?
Great.
What about Phoenix, Arizona?
What about it?
I'm moving there. I'm getting the hell out of South Florida.
Oh, man. Well, you don't sound old enough to me.
What's that?
You don't sound old enough to go to Arizona. You got to be over the age of 100.
I'm 38, and you know what? One thing different about being out west and being out here is that people actually like it out there. If you ask anybody how do you like it, they said they love it. But you ask the normal person in South Florida how do you like the people here, their only reaction is they suck.
Yeah, that's true.
And if it's not good enough for Neil Gott, it's not good enough for me.
Okay. Well, good luck to you, Pally. Watch out for those cacti. 5670560. I'm still waiting to hear Route 66. I don't hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were serious.
No, I don't really want to hear it. I was just joking about that. I just thought you had it all queued up. I can live without. Arizona to me is just, I shouldn't say it. I almost took that job in Yuma, Arizona before I came to Miami. Yuma. Ever been to Yuma?
No, I haven't.
Don't. The only good thing about Yuma is it's close to California. And it's, I guess, not all that far from Vegas. But, boy, I don't know. I mean, it's very scenic, like driving through New Mexico and Arizona. Very scenic. Beautiful to look at. But then again, so is South Florida beautiful to look at. With the palm trees, the ones that are still standing, things like that. 567 over. And like I said yesterday, I'm not here to peddle any place. I'm not for the Chamber of Commerce. Do not come to Toronto. You'll hate it like poison. Do not go to Rochester. It's Cobbs Hill and Irondequoit and whatever. Go where you want to go, have a great life. That guy with his story about Oakville, I mean, it's like saying, I was in Boynton Beach for a couple of days, and you just don't know anything about South Florida. Yeah, right. Oakville, my ass. I mean, that is way down the road. That's on the way to Niagara Falls. Give me a break. WQAM, hello.
Morning, Neil. Two things. Skipper Chuck was the greatest thing that ever happened to Kids TV, and I'd love to see grass flyers on a particular ranch in Crawford, Texas for my New Year's wish.
Okay. There you go. That's a guy with a short list. WQAM, there's Route 66 for you. With or without, I'm not really sure if that was the show that George Maharis was on.
I don't know. Boca Brian will know.
Guy. Huh?
Boca Brian will know.
I know he would know, but you could also Google Route 66. You could just Google TV show Route 66 and it'll tell you who was on it. See? Good theme song, though. I do like that theme.
It's all right. Kind of Batman.
It seems to me once upon a time I may have driven on Route 66. I'm not really sure. I do remember my drive across the southern tier on I-10.
Yeah.
After I picked up that hitchhiker. This is many years ago, back when we used to pick up hitchhikers. Remember those days? You ever? You're probably not old enough.
No, I remember it used to be safe to pick up hitchhikers and to hitchhike.
In fact, his name was Chuck Bryan. You know how many years ago that is? And I remember his name.
100?
In fact, I remember a couple of things. But anyway.
Wait for it. George Maharis is absolutely correct.
Oh! I didn't want to step on the end of that theme song. No. George Maharis knew was the other guy?
It's like
Hello?
a text thing here.
Hello?
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I have a question about the game last night.
Yes.
First, though, I'd like to ask George a question, if I may.
Martin Milner?
Yeah. That was it, Martin Milner.
George.
Caller.
Why do you continue to hate?
What are you talking about, goofball?
Continue to hate what? Get out of here. That's just another one of the same idiots.
Toothless old fart.
Yeah. Toothless old fart. That's right. Maybe that was toothless.
I hate him. I'm going to continue to hate him until he dies.
Yeah, he hates you like poison and hopes that you die real fast. Okay. In fact, maybe we can do a swap. We can bring Skipper Chuck back to life, and you can take his spot.
This
in the ground.
is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
You get a lot of it. Sports! Neil Rogers on Sports Hole Radio, WQAM.
And now, the show that's the antidote to those liberal media distortions of our government. It's the West Texas Wing.
Excuse me, Mr. President, but why are you wearing headphones, sir?
Oh, hey, Dick, I'm monitoring some illegal wiretaps.
Mr. President, don't we have people to do that?
Yeah, but I have the really important calls sit right here to the Oval Office. Oh, hang on. Something big is coming over.
Oh, what is it, sir? Word of a terrorist attack?
No, Brittany has kicked Kevin out of the house again, and he just set up a date with Lindsay Lohan. Oh, that dog. Come back next time for a fair and balanced, compassionately conservative view of our government in action. Only on the West Texas Wing.
125/87. Does that meet with your approval?
Oh, yeah. I'm cool.
Well, you ought to be ecstatic. You ought to be like jumping around and dancing up and down. And that was after running the other room to get this thing, too. If I would have sat for like 4 or 5 minutes. If I would have sat through the end of that long commercial break before I took it.
Yeah.
Boy. Now, what the hell is that thing yawning? Are you faxing me something now?
I did.
You ought to hear that yawning sound on my fax
Certainly
machine,
George
man.
Maharis is gay.
Must be a commentary on the show so far. The most overdone news story of the past year, 859 votes. Our goal is 1,000. See, I figure, yesterday we went right down to the wire because we took it for granted. Don't ever take South Florida people for granted. You have to keep pushing them and pushing them. So last night we got part of our new Head Start program. Oh yeah, I know about George Maharis. This is an actual picture of him. I can't really make out the whole thing.
No, you can make it out enough.
Is he like with somebody else in that picture?
Well, he's with a friend, but it's not somebody else.
What is it? A blow-up doll?
No, it's just his member there. Members
well,
only.
I can't see it then as well because he never did nothing for me. It says George Maharis is gay. You were right. There's an actual picture of him. Says Frank. Well, why would I say it if it weren't true? What? What are you laughing about?
Sorry. Told myself
like Charlie
a joke I never heard
Christ,
before.
Your next governor is going to be
gay.
Huh?
Yeah, no, you don't lie about that anyway.
What? Then who have I ever said is gay is not?
Nobody.
Give me one. Give me a name. Tommy Cruise?
Oh, no argument there.
Give me one name.
No, I was just laughing at the why would you say it if it wasn't true.
I'm talking about that subject.
About that subject? No, never.
Well, there you go. I mean, can you call anybody anything worse than
gay?
I can't think of anything other than maybe liar and cheat and scoundrel and
Republican.
Pizza thief, Republican, right? Born again fanatic, nut, religious nut. All of these things. But other than that, how about Jack Abramoff? I realize that we got to zero in on the coal mine disaster and about how the media screwed up really bad. I do like Keith Olbermann. I've warmed up to him very slowly because when he had his show previously on MSNBC, I thought he was a real a-hole. And he still does some things that annoy me, like a little melodramatic for me. But he's a very bright guy, and he happens to be liberal, which I know is unacceptable these days. And he rips Bush an ass every chance he gets, and he has some interesting stuff on there. Even Josh knows who that is.
He was very funny when he did SportsCenter.
Well, there you go. And he's still very funny on MSNBC, 8 to 9 p.m. on whatever they call that show. Countdown? Is that the name of the show?
I have no idea. Oh.
Well, yeah, look.
Well, he was an actual SportsCenter anchor.
I know that.
SportsCenter.
And he went from there, then he bumbled around a little bit, and then he wound up on MSNBC, and he got all pissed off because they wouldn't let him say anything during the Monica business. And was it the Monica thing or the OJ? I forget what period of time
it was. Monica.
And he got bent out of shape with them because they wouldn't let him say anything. And then he finally surfaced on MSNBC. Well, wait a minute. What was the one I just said he was on? He was on there when John Gibson was on there. And then John Gibson decided that he was a full-fledged goose-stepping Nazi. So he decided, and by the way, I got some good news.
Okay.
For me. Good news for me. And good news for John Jarris. Remember you told me he was sending me chocolates?
Right.
Well, they're not going to get here. They're not going to let you.
Oh, that's right.
They're not going to let you ship food across the border. So you're getting what you deserve, John. I mean, I know your intentions were good.
I could have eaten it.
What?
I could have eaten that chocolate.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody there could be enjoying it. Somebody who's not diabetic and not
starving, underprivileged family like me.
That's right. So God is punishing you, man, just like He's punishing Ariel Sharon for being a big fat and for eating trafe, man. When he had those bacon cheeseburgers, that just put the Lord over the edge. He couldn't handle it no more. That was bad. Poor Skipper Chuck. Look at all the. In fact, I'm working on a poll about the all-time broadcasting legend in South Florida. Look at all the people who are dead.
Well,
what?
You don't get out alive.
Ralph Redneck.
Mm-hmm.
And
there he is in the news. They're showing a news story about it.
Final goodbye to the man known as
Skipper Chuck.
Join us tonight for the.
Right, they're scrubby.
Skipper up Chuck. The only bone I ever had to pick with him was when he kept leaving his teeth in the glass at Tropical Acres. That kind of bothered me a little bit.
How do you know they were his?
It's just a joke. Jesus God. No, he was the spokesman for Tropical Acres. Did you ever eat in there? I probably shouldn't say anything about them because every now and then they might. Huh?
No, you shouldn't.
Well, I will anyway. No, seriously, the average age of the people eating in there is like death plus 10.
I'm telling the Beasleys.
Have you ever been in there? Go ahead and tell the freaking Beasleys. And speaking of the Beasleys, oh, man. You talk about a real bunch of big spenders. So yesterday we had another near-stroke experience with certain people getting me crazy before the show, which Clarence came in again this morning. And stop doing that, Clarence. Just go away. I love his line this morning. Whatever happened to us? Isn't that a great line?
That's funny.
Like he and I ever had a great relationship. I mean, I have no problem with him personally, but business, I mean, clueless. Just clueless.
I didn't tell you until now, but, we chased Troy away this morning. Because you know how you told me you wanted to
Thank you so much.
Screen
Thank you.
Yeah, I refused to turn the microphone on, and we got a pointy stick and drove him on.
Good. And I hope you speared him with it. At any rate, the deal is the Beasleys are going to put up the seed money for the Best of Neil 30th anniversary March, whenever. And when is that going to start, or don't we know yet? February?
We don't know yet, but soon.
But anyway, we're coming out with a CD, and of course, the first day it's out, people will be like, it'll be on the internet, and you can download it for free, and you can steal it, and then burn copies. They do it all the time, which is one of the reasons we stopped doing the CDs. We went primarily to making those keychains, which went over very big.
I was told that we actually had more of a surplus leftover keychains than CDs.
Yeah, well, you want to know why? That wasn't true with the Mad Dog keychains. They went like hotcakes. They went like Halavon Manhattan.
We got leftover both of them running around.
But the one with your buddy,
take off those checkered pants.
That one, who the hell wanted that, Although I will say that for him, both times we raised money for Abandoned Pet Rescue. We had the Mobits, and we had the keychain. Now, we went and asked him if it was okay with him. Not that we needed to do that because it's station material that we put on there, But nevertheless, he was cool with it, and he said, it's for a good cause. And he also said that. Now, is that on there, by the way? I don't think that's on there, is it? I think that
that
keychain...
was
Keychain preceded the days.
Sure.
So we'll see. We'll do the best we can. But anyway, the Beasleys are putting up the $10,000 seed money. But then, of course, they're going to take it back out of the proceeds. That's the point I was making. If they really had any kind of generosity or any appreciation for what I've done these 8 years, they'd say, oh, no sweat, we'll write the check, no problem at all, and we want all the proceeds to go to the charity and te salud, kiss my ass, which is what Greg did for 20 minutes yesterday. I had ass burn. I think it was Bayer. I had ass burn right after that call. I couldn't believe it.
Meeting's
very
over,
nice.
by the way.
Huh?
The meeting's over, by the way.
And so what's the lowdown? We got a spy report?
Well, I got that Mo was not in the meeting. Neither was the Mad Dog.
Well, they probably got a phone call. Because Hank said he got a phone call.
Do you want the lowdown?
Yes.
Our new general manager.
Joe Bell. What a good guess. Joe Bell from KISS, which is a Beasley station. KISS, we love Joe Bell. He's a great guy.
Apparently he was over here, but then skedaddled back on over there because he's got to shuttle back and forth for a while.
Right. And
that's it. It's yet to be determined who's going to be moving where.
Now, do we get our fart sounds back?
Oh, man. One step at a time, sweet Jesus.
No, seriously, the way I think Joe Bell, here's a guy with a little, he's coming in a different position than Greg was. Maybe Well, we know what position Greg was in. Screw Ann told me. But at any rate, so we got Joe Bell as our new general manager. That didn't take very long. It's only the 5th of January, and we got a new general mangler, and Greg is going to be consulting and pulling some strings behind the scenes and whatever he's going to be doing. And more power to him. Good luck to him. Right?
Absolutely.
And good luck to us.
I mean to say.
Absolutely.
Because Joe Bell's a big fan of this show. That's what I was told. Little Birdie told me that. He loves this show. He wants to make mad, passionate love with George. That's what I heard.
Well, I'll bend right over.
And this is kind of interesting because I think this will be the first time I ever work for a general manager that I'm never going to meet.
You're right. That is interesting.
Yeah,
I'll take a picture.
Okay, I hear he's a big fat guy.
Then you guys ought to get along just swimmingly.
Is he really? Well, you know him.
I don't know. I do. I haven't seen him. Nor has anyone even described him to me.
He's a big, heavy-set guy with a good sense of humor and a great guy, and we love him like crazy, and just leave us alone. 5670560, and work on that sales department. That's the area that needs a lot of work, boy, a lot of work. So Troy was actually in there this morning, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't going to tell you, but, it kind of came up.
You ought to pass the message along to him that he can take it personal or business or both. I don't want to talk to him for a long time.
He just wanted to say hi.
Until my brain heals. I beg your pardon?
He just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, bye-bye.
I said, nah, not necessary.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, your buddy Izzy's down with a heart attack.
What is this man talking about? Did he say Izzy had a heart attack?
I think that's what he said.
Oh. Well, for all I know, maybe he's right. I don't know. How am I going to check
Izzy,
on
if you
that?
had a heart attack, call in.
Well, I sure hope he finished my fence. First. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going? What?
WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Love your show.
Me too.
Raspberry.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, buddy? I was watching the hockey game the other night. Something amusing. Nothing to do with hockey, just a comment one of the guys made.
Panthers blew it again in the third period last night. They lost time 4-3 down, but they're doing it on the road choking again.
I'm just glad I didn't have to watch it on television. Anyway, Poppin and his buddies who do the announcements, they were talking about the Islanders were playing the Rangers one night. Guy goes, well, the Islanders are playing the Rangers over Nassau Coliseum. I guess that's one place they won't be saying Dennis Poppin sucks tonight. I just thought it was kind of funny. And also, any chance that Condoleezza bit on the 30th anniversary? 50th? Whatever the hell it is?
No.
Nope. Donkey ball.
I wonder if that's like, what are the balls that Duff was so excited about? Well, I mean, that's a loaded question. Don't you remember? Falafel balls. Falafel balls.
Those balls.
I wonder if falafel balls are like donkey balls. Well, we'll find out. I guess if anybody would know about various kinds of balls, Duff would be the expert.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Hey, that's in honor of the Beasleys, I guess, huh? Wouldn't you think? For their
Must be
great
how,
generosity and
how
putting up
precious.
the seed money for that best of 30th anniversary edition. Not that they don't want the money back, and not that they're not going to go and try to get other sponsors to fund it who aren't like personal endorsement sponsors. It just really is slime. I should have just said forget about it, shouldn't I? Wouldn't that have been the right thing to do?
Whatever. Give them something to do.
Is that what it is? Gives Miguel something to do, and then go out on the street corner there peddling his wares. 5670560 pound 560 the Verizon and Singular wireless line. Not too many comments about Skipper Chuck. I guess you used those all up on Monday and Tuesday.
I spent it all up.
That's probably why he died. I don't want to lay like a guilt trip on you, but I think you probably put the pressure on poor Chuck. Well, like my mother said, nothing is forever. That's what she said.
Yeah, she plagiarized that from Buddha.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Pally.
Good. I'll tell you a quick little story. About a month ago, I had a telemarketer call a house, and they offered this fantastic deal to me and my wife for 3 days, 2 nights, free airfare to all these lovely resorts if we come to this little seminar. So the other night, we go to the seminar. I mean, it wasn't a bad deal what they were offering. It wasn't a time sharing.
Right.
So anyway, we couldn't afford it, right? So we sat down with the girl, and she said, well, for showing up, you're entitled to your trip. She pulled out this beautiful color brochure.
Yeah.
Now, these are the places that me and my wife can go free of charge for 3 days and 2 nights. No, listen. Cancun, Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't think that's around no more, is it? New Orleans. Or Orlando, Florida.
Well, I'll be damned.
Isn't Cancun kind of wiped out from some hurricane that just recently went by this year?
Yeah, a little bit. There's like little bits and pieces there. It's probably like a little spot you can
And we
roost
got,
on.
like, they said 90 days to use it, so I'm like,
I heard they also would like to send you to Pompeii, too. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I was like, telling my wife, it looks like we're going to Orlando unless we're going to Cancun and watch them rebuild it.
I'll go to Orlando and maybe you can find that Swingers Hotel.
Yeah. Where's that at, man? All right.
It's right up the Hershey Highway. 5670560. Pound 560, the Verizon Singular Wireless line. Boy, these calls have really tailed off to a precious few. But you wait till the delay catches up.
Oh, yeah.
In about 10 minutes. Then you'll see. Then you'll see some real action. Action at Jackson. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, good morning. I was
Buenos
calling
dias.
about Skipper Chuck.
Good.
Yeah, I have in my hand 3 letters that he wrote to me when I was young. Sincerely, Skipper Chuck, and then he signed it Chuck Zink.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a really nice guy.
Yes,
and,
he was.
On the WTVJ letterhead, and it's really nice. I was wondering if anybody knew if there was going to be a service or where it was or anything like that.
Yeah, the article didn't say anything about that.
No, it sure didn't. It sure didn't. He was a really great guy, and I'm going to miss him a lot. I'm sorry I never wrote him a letter when I knew he was ill or
Right.
he was at JNO to let him know how much I appreciated him.
Yeah, would have
and
put a
his show.
smile on his face. Gee, it's too bad that we don't do things like that, you know?
Yeah, I know, and then it's too late. I remember when he had on the Smothers Brothers, way when they were young. And
Tom and
Lionel the Lion kept saying that, let's see, Chuck Zink would say, this is Tom and Dick, and Lionel would say, well, where's Harry? And that was kind of the joke for the day. Where's Harry? Where's Harry? But it was an intelligent show, and the kids got it, and he got the kids, and it was just great. It was just great.
That's what we need, man. We need another Skipper Chuck.
Yeah, there'll never be another Skipper Chuck.
I'm with you.
All
Thanks
right.
a lot, sweetheart. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Too bad she didn't write him that letter, you know? 567. There's Alexander Haig. Look at that. Major meeting on Iraq at the White House, and Haig just said, I am in charge here at the White House. And there's Lawrence Eagleburger. Oh, boy, all the former Secretary of States. And by the way, somebody ought to tell Keith Jackson that it's not 2 times out left. How many times did he say that last night?
About 30, man.
They have 2 times out left. Yeah. There are some phrases where you can say, you know,
Right.
the plural is on the first of the 2 words. But timeouts is that's not one of them.
He was
Nobody in the
definitely
history of the human race has ever said they've got 2 times out left. Oh, good golly,
bad.
Keith. Whoa, Nellie is right. He was just brutal, just awful. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Oh, these calls are ponderous. I just called to take up some room.
Okay,
What's
well,
with
what do
the
you got?
guy complaining about the free trip, and then you got this lady reading her
Well, what do you got?
letters from...
What do you got?
Oh, nothing, but that is...
Well, bye-bye. You got nothing, all right. At least there's an honest caller. He got plenty of nothing.
He proved his point.
I think the callers are just fine. What's not to like, you know? You want all nut jobs? Is that what you want? We didn't get the gargler yet, so we can't dump him.
Oh, don't worry.
No, that's all right. He'll be on there, and you won't hear it, though. I'm just telling him right now. I'm tired of his act. It's so... Talk about stale. Good God. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
My favorite Keith Jackson moment of last night is I think there was 30 seconds left, and he's looking, and he says, well, there's, what does that say there? And that's how, so 30 seconds left. Yeah, there's 30 seconds left in the
I had
quarter.
the feeling he's getting blind. He couldn't see anything, you know?
Oh, he was horrible.
Like when Texas intercepted the ball in the end zone, remember that late in the game? And he says, I thought he was a little bit short. He kept looking at it. He just can't see anything. But other than that, he's doing great.
Yeah, other than that, he's doing great. All right, Neil, take it easy.
Okay, thanks, Bradley. So the consensus is Keith Jackson, retire. Okay, enough is enough. You suck. Don't go out like a clown. WQAM, hello.
Neil,
Yes, I am.
I wanted to give you a Fort Lauderdale Airport review.
Good. Okay, excellent. This is what I've been waiting 2 days to get.
I tried calling yesterday, couldn't get through. Anyhow, I landed in Fort Lauderdale Sunday, New Year's Day. And it was horrible. We lost one of our bags to Delta with bankruptcy. Good for them. We just got back to Lake Tahoe. Had a blast, but the Fort Lauderdale Airport was horrible.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for the good news. Well, I guess he just verified what I thought. I'll give it one more try. Because it's a lot closer to my house than Miami, but it's just, I don't know. It's just not laid out right. They have too many gates too close together, and they don't have any seats for the people to sit down in, which creates massive chaos and confusion and a lot of stress. You know, there's enough stress when you're traveling as it is without having extra stress because the airport's laid out like a bunch of lunatics designed it. And they have one place, not that I wanted to get any food, but they They have one place where they have like, I don't even know, it's just a generic place. It's not like a Burger King or whatever. But they got like burgers and water and whatever. Mm-hmm. And there were people there were two lines that stretched about like a half a mile going either direction because there's only like one place in there in Terminal 4 where they're selling any food. It was kind of like terminal. Not good. But nevertheless. But we'll see, if it's not on it depends on what day you fly on, I guess, right?
Right.
Or not. Maybe I should have gone to Jamaica, to Kingston, Jamaica. Should have gone on that with that crowd.
That's all about it. Be an interesting show afterwards.
1,639 murders in 1 year in a country of 2 million people. There's something basically wrong with that, man. The most overdone news story of the past year, that's our poll. We got 934 votes. We'll get to 1,000 without even breaking a sweat. Oh, look at that. The West Virginia flags have been lowered in honor of the fallen miners at McDonald's at Mickey D's. Isn't that great?
Well, we should lower our flags in honor of Chuck.
They should lower the flag at Tropical Acres, I'll tell you that. And at Cemetery Village. And at WTVJ. I'll tell you another guy who was a good guy with South Florida roots. And that was Dave Thomas.
That's right.
The Fat Wendy's guy.
Mm-hmm.
Ate too much of his own product. What a great guy he was. And most of us didn't even realize that.
No, not until it was too late.
Because the only reason we knew Dave Thomas is because we saw him all at Wendy's spots, and he was like big and fat and jovial and joking around and driving the race car and doing all those goofy things. And we didn't really know all that much about him. But I thought it was really touching when Tony Cigaretto came on here and did a real big eulogy to, silly Tony Cigaretto.
Yeah, what about him?
He's silly. The most overdone news story of the past year, the missing chick in Aruba, 320. Maybe she turned into a Chick-fil-A.
Ooh.
Terry and her cube, 243. Runaway Bride, 169. I better play that. Michael Jackson trial, 79. Fort Lauderdale kid goes to Iraq, 50. Should have stayed there. Rosa Parks dies, 19. Hurricane Katrina, 17. The war in Iraq, 12. The new Nazi Pope, 9. Coal miners, 9. Supreme Court nominations, 6. Republican scandals, 5. Hurricane Wilma, 2. Iraq elections, 2. And none for the London Cube bombings or the Asian earthquakes out of 942. A nice variety. A lot of bad crap. It was not a good year. 2005 was not a good year. I mean, there are individuals out there going to say, well, I had a good year because I got laid a lot, like somebody who's sitting there right now probably, at least one of them. I'm sure not the other one. But nevertheless.
Yeah, I had a good year.
Well, good.
Mine sucked.
George's year sucked. Josh had a really good year. He got laid a lot. And me, that was okay. I'm trying to think of like any major development. It was all right. It had its moments. Not spectacular. And certainly that Wilma thing. Without Wilma, it would have been fine,
Yeah,
but Wilma kind of like screwed up everybody's life.
Yes, it did.
Gee, I wonder if Izzy really died of a heart attack. You think?
Is he going to be calling in?
I sure hope he finished the job. Because he already got paid for it. 567-0560, pound 560 in the Verizon Singular Wireless lines. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Skipper Chuck was a great guy. He used to play golf out at Century Goods. I used to see him out there all the time.
Right.
And do you remember the days when North Miami, you knew all your neighbors in every direction from your house?
Yeah.
I was happy to know you were glad to know them. And I don't think, even if we changed the people and come back to a nice place, we'd really have to wipe out half the houses and half the developments on the beach.
Well, I think one more hurricane season might just take care of that, Maybe this is God's way of creating a cleansing experience for the community, you think? Because he does work in mysterious and evil ways, and often painful ways. Maybe all these hurricanes are his way of, like, purging out the swill, the slush from the community. Think?
Possible.
I mean, sure damn near worked in your house.
Not near enough.
But you do have your cable back, though, right?
Yes. And the internet's just clipping along, man. It's just banging.
Oh, man. If you had there's blood spurting out of my tongue right now. I'm biting it so hard.
Careful.
Those 3 days that I spent down there, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this past weekend, that was a real fly opener. I'll tell you that right now. That was just, oh, brother. There are so many things lacking, it's like a 10th-rate life And if your whole life is based on the beach and the palm trees and the ocean and the sunshine, then you are in heaven. Other than that, if it's anything beside that, you got problems. That's probably why 72% of the people want out. Even I was shocked by that.
Yeah.
Now, don't you think that's a little bit of a high number? But I mean, it's a pretty good sample. It's like 6,600 votes of people that either are actively planning on getting out and working on or leaving, or are like wish they could. 72%.
Right. And like, I wouldn't care if the electric was high for a good reason, but when you know that they're just gouging
when you're getting raped,
and they've got $11 billion to buy another utility, and the Public Service Commission gives them whatever they want, then
And like when the voters vote on something, and then the governor and the legislature do everything in their power to kill it and to water it down and to stall and delay it.
Stuff like that.
It's just a hopeless place, man. It's a Yahoo place. It could be. I've said this for years. It could be paradise, but it's not. Like when you find something running down your chin, you think it could be paradise, but it's not. There's another former defense secretary, Frank Carlucci. There's a real gangster for you. There's a bad guy. Coochie. Look out for Frank Carlucci. Always be nervous about guys whose last names end in CCI, like Mariucci.
No question.
Oh, boy. Hey, are you in a dead-end job? Underpaid? If your New Year's resolution is to get you a high-paying career and a life, you ought to act now. Pick up the phone and call Fast Train right now at 1-866-FAST-TRAIN. Fast Train will get you trained and ready for your new high-paying career in just a few short months. That's correct. You heard right. You can get a new high-paying career in just a few short months. So the search for a life might be over real fast. The demand for medical coding specialists and computer professionals is an all-time high right now, and Fast Train offers convenient day, evening, and weekend classes, job placement assistance, and financial aid for people who qualify. Pick up the phone and call Fast Train at 1-866-FAST-TRAIN. Fast Train's placed over 100 individuals just like you in 2005. So check Fast Train out on the web at fasttrain.com. You better act now in order to obtain your new high-paying career because classes are quickly filling up. Don't miss the train of opportunity this year. Get out of your dead-end job, start making some real money, and find a serious life. Call 1-866-FAST-TRAIN. This year, make your New Year's resolution a reality by calling Fast Train today.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Hello, Mason resident. John Mason speaking. Hello? Jennifer? What the hell's the matter, honey?
I've been kidnapped.
Are you crying? You sound like you're crying.
I've been kidnapped by aliens.
You've been kidnapped again?
Yes, by aliens.
You've been kidnapped by aliens? Where they done took you?
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque?
Yes.
Is that in America?
Yes.
Where is it?
In New Mexico.
Where?
New Mexico.
Albuquerque is?
Yeah.
I was in Georgia.
No, New Mexico.
Okay. I don't believe you, honey. You don't have to lie to me.
No, I want to get married. I really do. It's just that I was kidnapped by aliens.
Oh, I believe you, honey.
They got short hair.
They got short hair?
Yes.
Who does?
But the aliens have short hair.
When you say short hair, you mean like Ryan Seacrest short?
A little longer than that.
A little longer, like Fabio?
Difference doesn't make it shorter hair.
All right, honey, don't yell at me. I believe you. Where are you? Can I pick you up?
I'm at a 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven?
Yes.
Can you get me a Slurpee?
What?
A Slurpee?
What?
A Slurpee?
What?
Like a blueberry one.
What? I just been kidnapped. I can't get you a Slurpee.
All right, I'll get it myself. You really been kidnapped, honey?
Yes. By aliens in a blue van.
Aliens drive a blue van?
Yes.
Like a Chevy van?
No.
Is it a Ford?
No.
Well, what kind of van is it?
What kind of van is it?
Did they do anything to you? Did they probe you?
No.
Poke you?
No.
Prod you?
No.
Make love to you?
No, you idiot! I'm not coming home. I'm staying at the 7-Eleven.
You don't want to marry me, do you?
No.
What?
No, I don't.
But I forgive you.
I don't care.
You can come home.
I'm done.
Come home.
I'm done with you.
I miss you.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
Take care.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Bye.
I love you.
20 after 11 at QM. Now, let me ask you, we got a new general manager now. Greg Reed has said farewell. He's moving on to bigger and other things. And Joe Bell's new manager. Now, who's the new sales manager?
I don't think there's been a change there.
I beg your pardon? Do we have a bad connection? Hello?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Once powerful lobbyist Jack Abramoff completed the second half of his plea deal with the government yesterday by admitting to conspiracy and wire fraud charges stemming from his 2000 purchase of a gambling boat fleet. Abramoff, 46, stood somberly before U.S. District Judge Paul C. Huck to plead guilty to 2 of the 6 criminal counts in an August grand jury indictment. Guilty, Your Honor, Abramoff said when Huck asked how he wanted to plead. Huck set a tentative sentencing date of March 16. The plea came a day after Abramoff entered guilty pleas to 3 other federal charges as part of the agreement with prosecutors requiring him to cooperate in a broad corruption investigation into members of Congress. It's going to smell so bad, it's going to be just unbelievable. It's going to be great. They're all running for cover, and they're all busy giving their money back, too, by the way. Oh, Newt Gingrich and Denny Hastert. Oh, yeah. Even the Bushmeister gave $6,000 back. Oh, we don't know where that came from. We never heard of this guy. Kind of like Kenny Boyle, you know.
Yeah.
We have no idea who that is. And say hi to Kenny for us. Like a former business partner did last month, Abramoff pleaded guilty to concocting a false $23 million wire transfer that made it appear as if the pair contributed a sizable stake of their own in cash in the $147.5 million purchase of Sun Cruise Casinos, Mon. The plea agreement calls for a maximum sentence of just over 7 years, but the sentence could be reduced if Abramoff cooperates fully and would run simultaneously with whatever sentence is imposed in the Washington corruption case. The remaining 4 counts in the Florida indictment will be dismissed. Wearing a dark double-breasted suit and tan baseball cap, unlike the John Gotti outfit he wore the day before, he ducked out of courthouse side door into a waiting car with his Washington lawyer, didn't talk to attorneys or reporters or anybody else. Abramoff's agreed to cooperate in a wide-ranging corruption probe that could involve up to 20 members of Congress and aides, including Tom DeLay. Oh, yeah, and old Bob Ney. And they're going to really make hay with this, you can be sure of that. The scandal. These are the people that were going to bring integrity back to the White House. Remember that? After Bubba had the Monica business going on? Let's see, what's this fax from Eric in Coral Springs? Eric says, I just wanted to write and say I met Chuck Zink about 4 years ago when I was searching for a way to advertise my golf course. He was a genuinely sincere man who listened to what I had to say. His spots for my course were excellent, and I believe they helped my business. Also, just wanted to say I tried to advertise on WQA, and it was a joke, and when you complain about the people in advertising, just know there's at least one person out there who understands what you're talking about, says Eric. Thank you, Eric. God bless you, baby. Man, here's a guy that tells it like it is, because
salespeople are iceholes.
Yeah, especially at QAM. How many times have we had over the years people say, I've had people come up to me at hockey games and say, you know, I really wanted to buy spots on your station, but I called as this one or that one, and they never returned my call. How many times?
About 30, man.
About 30,000 times. Just really pathetic. But you know something? It doesn't cost us any money. Like I said yesterday, I'm turning over a new fig leaf. If they don't want the money, if they don't want all the revenue that they could be making, hey, that's their problem, you know what? They're rolling in money. They're not missing any meals. I guarantee you the Beasleys are missing no meals. Robert Scheer writes, good old Robert Scheer. Remember he got canned at the L.A. Times because he was too liberal, and they're like moving all the liberals out? But nevertheless, he's got his own website, robertscheer.com. He says, Abramoff's crimes are indicative of a deeper cesspool. Oh, man, like South Florida, a cesspool. Top Republican lobbyist Jack Abramoff is set to sing, and his long list of former buddies in Congress and the Bush administration are quaking in anticipation of possible indictments stemming from the consummate Beltway hustler's crass reign as the king of K Street. Casino Jack, a former head of the College Republicans and a pioneer-grade fundraiser for the Bush 2000 campaign, pleaded guilty to 3 felony counts of conspiracy, mail fraud, and tax evasion in D.C. yesterday, and was in Florida, well, this is the day before, to plead guilty to fraud and conspiracy, etc. Abramoff and other defendants must also repay over $25 million to defrauded clients and another $1.7 million to the IRS, eh? But most important for the nation is that Abramoff is now detailing the massive web of corruption he spun inside the Beltway, which has already snared a top Bush official, Procurement Chief David Safavian, on charges of lying and obstructing criminal investigation, and reportedly threatens dozens of other D.C. players. When this is all over, this will be bigger than any government scandal in the last 50 years, both in the amount of people involved and the breadth to it. Stan Brand, former U.S. counsel who specializes in representing public officials accused of wrongdoing, told Bloomberg News. It'll include high-ranking members of Congress and executive branch officials. Some of the Wild West field of this Beltway corruption was captured in Saturday's Washington Post expose, the DeLay-Abramoff money trail, in documents in chilling detail how, among other scams, Abramoff funneled a portion of the millions he had been skimming from Indian casino operators with a cool million from 2 Russian energy moguls through a shell organization called the U.S. Family Network, and from there into the coffers of politicians in a position to help his clients. Ironically, touting its commitment to moral fitness for the nation, the front group with a multi-million-dollar budget had a single staff member housed in a back room of a Capitol townhouse it owned and rented out to other organizations linked to Abramoff and Tom DeLay. The latter's staffers called it, ominously, DeLay's safe house. Cute. This is apparently while DeLay felt the need to tout the U.S. Family Network in a 1999 fundraising letter as a powerful nationwide organization dedicated to restoring our government to citizen control. It was run by Edwin A. Buckham, DeLay's former chief of staff, whose lobbying firm, the Alexander Strategy Group, carried DeLay's wife, Christine, on its payroll. But the moral fitness of such cronyism pales in comparison to the scandal of how Abramoff drummed up support for his very clients under the cover of conservative morality. Isn't that like an oxymoron, conservative morality? Mm-hmm. For example, in order to block the ambitions of a rival tribe to the Choctaw Indians who had paid Abramoff millions, the U.S. Family Network sent a mailing to Alabama residents warning shrilly that the American family is under attack from all sides: crime, drugs, pornography, and one of the least talked about but equally as destructive, gambling. We need your help today to prevent the Poarch Creek Indians from building casinos in Alabama. The letter conveniently failed to mention, however, that the U.S. Family Network had received at least $250,000 from the gambling proceeds of the Choctaws. In another scam detailed in the Post story, which could be quickly obtained by Hollywood for a thriller, players in the mafia-dominated Russian energy industry slid a cool $1 million payment through a now-defunct London law firm into the U.S. Family Network's account, which was de facto a slush fund for the Abramoff DeLay Network. Citing the Reverend Christopher Gieslin, who served as a titular leader of the U.S. Family Network, the Post reported that Buckham told the Reverend that payment was intended to secure DeLay's support on legislation forcing the International Monetary Fund to bail out the faltering Russian economy without demanding the country raise taxes on its energy and other profitable industries. Right on cue, DeLay found his way onto Fox News Sunday to take up the Russian viewpoint. They're trying to force Russia to raise taxes at a time when they ought to be cutting taxes in order to get a loan from the IMF, he said. That's just outrageous. The IMF backed down. This is just an initial peek into the sordid world being revealed by Abramoff and 2 of his key cronies, now spilling the beans to federal investigators. But in the bigger picture, what we're witnessing is the death throes of the GOP revolution, which once promised to restore morality to Washington, but instead sank far deeper into the cesspool of corruption. Oh, I like that. The cesspool. Kind of like the QM sales department.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Back is kind of like asking the brain surgery to operate on hemorrhoids.
Do Bellingham, do Bellingham, do Bellingham, do. Oh, I'm a crooked old turd. Republican slob, you Cunningham. Another tasty white fat butt and a morally Christian crooked smoke. Oh, for mansion yachts and toilets, I put my card in military contracts. Yes, I'm that Duke Cunningham. And I lost all I had in this world. My life is in ruins. I'm heading for the tombs. Like all the uptown bush punks, appointed by Jesus. So gonna miss that coinage in the yard. I guess I wasn't all that cunning for the cunning Duke Cunningham.
At 11:32:20, it sounded a little like Hannibal Lecter right there at the very end. Yeah, 28 till noon at QAM. So anyway, guess which movie's got the most nominations for awards by the Screen Actors Guild?
Oh, the Gay Cowboy movie.
Bareback Mountain.
Right.
Now, how'd you like it? What did you tell me the review was?
The review?
You're not going to go see that. Now,
I'm
how
not
are
gonna
you
go see
coming
that.
on Magnolia, Josh?
I don't know. Somebody has to give it to me. Somebody said that they were going to bring a copy by for Josh, so we're waiting. We're holding our breath.
Yeah. Hold your breath. Just like everybody in the audience is going to be bringing food up to the press box during the Marlin season. I'm assuming there is going to be a Marlin season, by the way, I guess.
I'm assuming.
I don't know if they got enough players left to field a team, but, you got to have 9. You think?
Yeah.
Could be.
Hopefully. They'll find, some minor leaguers to throw in there.
Yeah, now, see, Josh Corda said that.
What, like they haven't done it already? I mean, what?
Yeah, but if you want to solidify that easy job you got there and all that great free food you get from the Marlins organization.
Yeah, that easy job, but the free food part,
You see, this season we'll work on up to the big time. We won't just count on our old friend Troy from Balance for Life to bring you the food. We'll have all kinds of people bringing you food up there this year.
I'm sure there will be.
In fact, you know something? It just dawned on me.
What's that?
What were we begging for them to bring you this last baseball season?
A pizza.
Pizza.
All for me.
There you go. See, somebody probably intercepted all the pizzas. The pizza burglar probably intercepted all. They probably like 20, maybe even 30 pizzas were brought up to you various games last season, and they never arrived for you guys because somebody intercepted them. The stealth pizza thief. This is a great. I don't know what you're laughing about. That's his specialty, man.
Set on a feather.
Racing's on again. Finishes a way off. This is a funny article by Diana Moskovitz. Hey, we'll get back to you, Diana. Moskovitz. What kind of a name is that?
Ahoy!
They took it all in, the new grandstand, clubhouse, and patio. Then they got down to business. Like a throwback to a bygone era, yesterday was all about horse racing at Gulfstream Park in Hallandale Beach. No concert series. Oh, no Gary Puckett in the Union Gap. No carnival rides. No Johnny Maestro on the Brooklyn Bridge. No gimmicks of the past. This was an opening day for serious bettors. The reason they didn't have any gimmicks going on is because they were discouraging people from coming out there. They wanted people to go to Calder to bet the Gulfstream races because the track isn't finished, and they don't want people to be, disappointed, they said. Just go to Calder and plunge your guts out on the Gulfstream races. Many shrugged off the unfinished second and third floors in the new clubhouse. Their views of promised luxury restaurants blocked by green tarps, but already advertised on flags across the parking lot. They got fags in the parking lot. Yellow tape marked closed-off areas, construction dust, and the smell of fresh paint hung in the air. Never mind all that, said Joe Hudson on his 30th year
About 30, man.
of visiting the races. There was the new grandstand without a scuff, gleaming bathrooms with slick tiles. Oh, man. Oh, by the way, the rumor is that the Palestinians peed on the potato lock is that Ariel Sharon ate at Hanukkah.
Those bastards.
They're getting even for it. See, they hit us, so we hit them back, getting even with Arafat. It's a beautiful facility. Too bad it's not complete, Hudson said. This was an older crowd, dotted with walkers, canes, and plenty of gray hair.
Ahoy!
However, that's very unusual for Gulfstream Park. Not. Most keep a home in South Florida, but some live here part-time. Time spent at Gulfstream is measured in decades, and they know how to bet. Horses are called by their numbers, not names. It's hitting a race, not winning a race. They jot down every horse scratched and jockey change. You know, Diana, it's really wonderful. You must know a lot about horse racing, as if it's a novelty that horses are called out by their numbers when you go to make a bet. And if Diana really knew anything about the track, she'd understand that the old cockers at Gulfstream that lay their racing form down in front of them at the window while there are 10 people standing behind them, these are not people who know how to bet. They're an impediment to everybody else's enjoyment. Among them were a few, like Mike Nolan, who said the new grandstand was getting away from racing. He couldn't see the horses as clearly at the new saddling paddocks. Maybe he's got the Keith Jackson syndrome. He paid $10 to get in the clubhouse, and it was too expensive. Well, he's right about that. You know, one thing about going to the thoroughbreds, they soak you $10 to go into the clubhouse at Gulfstream now. It's like, I wonder how much, I'll have to ask Hank tomorrow, how much the racing form is these days. And then plus the program. It's got to be like $3-4 and then a tip sheet. You waste $15 before you even get in the door, before your ass is in the seat. Even George can't afford that. George would love to go out to the track.
Yeah.
George would love to go anywhere if he get a free meal and just not go home.
That's right.
They're trying to get too fancy, Nolan said, but it's a beautiful plan, a gorgeous plan. Bettors started at the paddock, bobbing for one last look at the competition. Then the trumpeter called the horses and to the track for the post parade. They stretched along the fences 3 rows deep. And the smell of construction gave way to dirt and ocean breeze. And probably the smell of some of those colostomy bags that the old farts are wearing, too. A few hard hats bobbed among the crowd. Hallandale Beach's condos towered in the distance, one unfinished building flanked by construction cranes. See, at Hialeah, they used to have, like, flamingos and whooping cranes. Here we got construction cranes. Each race started in near silence, only the announcer's voice following the horses. Then they came around the turn. Then the shouting started, reaching a crescendo, drowning out the clapping whoos or commentary. Come on, baby! Turn it up! You can get around! Come on, baby! It's got like a, like three Y's at the end of baby there. A little exaggeration. The horses cross the finish. The announcer calls out a winner. Most of the crowd sulks away. See that? She's like saying that most everybody lost their ass. What kind of a thing is that? Among the bettors are Tony Vanacore and Irving Goldberg. Vanacore puts his time spent at Gulfstream as many years. Goldberg is a little more specific, estimating 25. Goldberg hit the first race. Vanacore didn't, but he had many more to go. The longest lines were for bets, not food. The most read publication was the Gulfstream Handicrapper, tucked under arms and rolled into pockets, always within reach. The Daily Racing Form is a close second. For those less inclined to stand online, walking bet takers were on call. They wore navy blue shirts, bet with me, in pink letters on the back, and electronic betting machines slung across their shoulders like purses. Soon, slot machines will join the fray. Voters approved them in Broward last year, and Governor Jeb Bush signed them into law Wednesday. We're waiting for slots, Goldberg said. That's the real opening day.
Absolutely correct, sir.
How do you like that? Even the old cockers are saying we're waiting for the slots. And one thing that the Career Mutuals have failed miserably, all of them over the past many years, getting living and breathing and young people to come out. Once the slots start, that's going to change totally. You'll see. Even Josh is going to be there trying to win his $3 million.
I'm sure I will. And just wait till they get those topless cigarette girls.
Matter of fact, I got $98.50 on the 649 Lotto last night. Of course, I spent $200, but that's not too bad. In fact, I think when you go gambling, if you get half your money back, you should be pretty happy. Not as happy as the one guy that won the $10 million cash in the Lotto last night, but it wasn't me. And of course, I didn't have to tell you it wasn't me, did I?
No.
You want to know why?
Because we hear your voice now.
That is correct. Got a new manager, a new general manager at QM Joe Bell. We welcome with open arms and legs.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Back and on. This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil God.
Of corn, sort of torn and forlorn about seeing some gay porn. Hey, all the critics say this picture's great, but I brought along a female date to watch those two fellas with those hats consummate. Well, they got down on their horse, cause they both were feeling dandy. They made a lot of noise, cause those two ranch hands were randy. Their tennis started rocking, and nobody bothered knocking. They were making love to a cowboy. Everybody said, making love to a cowboy. Well, they were looking for love, two of a kind, if you wanted to watch the lady's mind, except for when they started to pull their zippers down. If you listen real close right there in the wind, you'll hear the music of Judy Garland. Nothing shakes me more to the core than seeing the lead horn. Cause they got down off their horse, cause they both were feeling dandy. They made a lot of noise, cause those two ranch hands were randy. Their tennis started rocking, and nobody bothered knocking. They were making love to a cowboy. Everybody say, making love to a cowboy.
Welcome.
Making love to a cowboy.
You fairy. 11:46, 14 till noon at QAM. We got the Molmeister at 2, and then we got Mad Dog. 3 solid hours of Jim Mandich.
All right.
4 to 7. Mark that down on your sleeve. Pretty unusual. In fact, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and Saturday, and etc. 3 days this week. How about Friday? Let me take a look at the schedule. Oh, yeah, and another 4 out of the 5 days he's got the whole 3 hours. Well, I bet you he's not too happy about that.
All right.
Now, what are you eating now? I bet you're eating like Brad Tony's.
No, it's Howie's.
Howie's? Well, yeah, it sounds to me like you're drowning in it.
Well, there was a big chunk of pork in that sandwich. In honor of Ariel Sharon, I'm porking up on pork.
Oh, my God. That probably is what put Ariel over the edge, was that pork sandwich from Pollo Tropical.
It's pulled pork, you know.
I'll be damned. Don't start. Brad has a fax here. He says the prices for a seat facing the track at Gulfstream on a regular day are $10. For the Don Handicap and the Sunshine Millions, $20. Fountain of Youth Day, $50. And Florida Derby Day, $75. That's effed up, says Brad. And you are absolutely correct, sir. So if I were you, I'd go over to Calder and watch, no matter what day, I'd watch it there, because I'm sure they're not going to soak the public those kind of prices. Now, I don't really know that for a fact, but I would just think so. Well, what kind of prices are those, you know? Of course, once they get the slots, see, it puts everything into perspective. It makes everything, it changes everything. Because what's $50 or $75 when you're losing thousands at the slots? What's a few bucks, right?
Right.
Who cares? Got some good news, by the way, for the Jon Stewart fans. Guess who's going to be hosting the
Oscars?
Oscars.
Jon Stewart.
What a good guess. How'd you guess that?
It was on the news earlier.
As the clock ticks ever closer to the 78th Annual Academy Awards on March 5th, which I certainly will go. Oh, and South Park was kind of cute last night. It was the one with, what's her name, Kathy Lee Gifford. It was cute.
Oh, that's great. But good news is for you that somebody burned us a copy of the of that one that got the Catholics all upset.
The one about Tom Cruise and the Catholics?
So I will be sending you your copy.
All right.
All right.
Sports fans. How did I ever live without South Park? You know, The Simpsons is a good show, but I don't need to see it.
It's lukewarm compared to South Park.
Exactly. But South Park is so great. How have I ever... I guess I'm just stubborn. Is that it?
Yes, you are. You got that cartoon stigma going.
Plus, you know those guys are Canadian. Oh, no.
They're not. They're Colorado.
They're from Denver.
Right,
I thought they went to...
no, you're right. I'm sorry.
Columbine. Didn't they go to Columbine High School?
I think they drove by it.
No, seriously.
Yeah, one of the guys did, yeah.
In Bowling for Columbine, Michael Moore interviewed one of the guys, and he went to Columbine High School. What is wrong with you, man?
Drugs.
Oh, well, you must be sharing.
No, I'm not.
You're supposed to be the South Park experts. I'm the silly old goat. Cool.
Yeah, but you've seen that movie more than me.
Yeah, I have. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has finally found a host, Jon Stewart, who, like I said last week, is, he's funny at times, but he's okay. Sources, he's a little overdone.
He
Sources
gets better.
What?
He gets better with time. He had to grow
up. Is that it?
Yeah.
Sources confirmed Stewart's selection, which was reported last night by the L.A. Times Oscar Watch site, theenvelope.latimes.com. An Academy spokesman declined comment. He's mum. The assignment would represent the first Oscar hosting spot for Stewart, who headlines Comedy Central's The Daily Show. Stewart does have black tie experience, though, having hosted the Grammy Awards in 2001 and 2002. Oscar cast producer Gil Cates' choice of a host had been the subject of mounting suspense in Hollywood, just like the general manager situation at QAM. People were on the edge of their seats, picking their nose and picking each other's rectum. Chris Rock, last year's host, was asked not to reprise the role. Reportedly, Billy Crystal, who's hosted 8 times, turned it down. And you know something? I like Billy Crystal, but enough already, you know?
Yeah, maybe that's why he turned it down.
It's kind of like Bert Parks. Don't you think they ought to bring back Bert Parks for one more Miss America?
No, thank you.
Here she comes. Just like Dick Clark. If he can be on, why not Bert Parks? Just because he's dead. Speculation also would center on such other previous hosts as Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, no. And Steve Martin.
You fairy.
Oh, no. Anyway. I shouldn't have said that about Steve Martin. You'll be assuming I'm saying things, which... Maybe I
never give it a thought.
Well, think about it. 5670560. There's Lou Dobbs. Well, hey, Lou, you idiot. Boy, do I hate him. He's just one of the... Of course, almost anybody on CNN I despise. Uh-huh. Like that pedantic, idiotic Wolf Blitzkrieg who acts like he's talking to a kindergarten class. In West Virginia. And just the way he phrases there. Kind of like your president, you know. Any word with more than 2 syllables, he kind of like has to pronounce it out like in... Oh, man. America, let's face it, baby. You've had it. 300 million people, I bet you like 100 million of them are like dumber than sawdust. And why? How come I'm being so generous? First I was talking about those poor bastards in West Virginia, those coal mining families. Mm-hmm. Man, that's too close to Tennessee for comfort. That's the problem. Then, speaking of Josh and his Texas Longhorns, I saw those hook'em horns people in the crowd like, oh, jeez. And you wonder why I rooted for USC? My God, talk about a bunch of inbred retards. Good golly, Miss Molly. And, of course, that's where your president is from, so what does that tell you? Crawford, Texas.
That's right.
Good old boy. And Laura Bush. And, of course, Lady Bird Johnson, a shrub, a tree in a bush. And now we got the Bush part. Speaking of Bush, Reggie Bush, man, he blew that game with that stupid lateral in the first quarter, the first half. What was he thinking about?
I don't know. I wouldn't say the game. It's like his fault.
What do you mean it wasn't his fault? He's the one who made and the guy
he tried
to lateral it to wasn't even looking. He wasn't expecting it. They were driving right down the field. They were eating up the Penn State defense like water through a sieve. What game did you watch?
And if he would have made the play, it would have been the greatest play ever. So, that's how it goes.
It was a stupid, undisciplined play that cost them the game. Cost them a touchdown and a big lead.
It was in the first quarter.
Well, let me ask you something. Do points in the fourth quarter count more than points in the first quarter?
No, they don't, but you can't say that cost them the game.
They would have had a big lead, baby. Big lead. Stupid play, Reggie. Well, what do you expect from a guy's last name is Bush?
Good point.
Yeah. See? Now we're finally reaching the area of agreement. I'm serious, though. That kid, the quarterback,
Vince Young.
What's his name? Vince Young, for Texas. I've never seen anybody like him. I mean, he makes Michael Vick seem like a statue. He's slippery, man. You can't tackle him. On that last drive in the game, there had one play when they got down to like the 9-yard line. It took 4 guys to tackle him. Remember that play?
I do, and they knew it was coming.
Yeah, and then they knew it was coming at the end of the game, and they still weren't nowhere near him when he just waltzed right in there, a walk-in, almost walk-off the field touchdown. Oh, it wasn't walk-off. Bad clock management, too, by Pete Carroll. He got out-coached in that game. I know he's had a great run there and won 2 national championships and all of that, but he got out-coached last night.
Yeah, he did.
Too bad, Pete. Of course, you want to know why?
Why's that?
There's one word that keeps coming up every time I see Pete Carroll on the sideline. Jets. Jets. Suck. Jets. See, it's the Jets factor, man. You hear the choking and gagging sounds. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Josh is getting late, but the thought...
WQAM, hello. WQAM, hola.
My sugar's $2.85. Is that
WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hi.
Yes.
In a little tribute to Chuck Zink, he was also a great pitchman, and maybe George will remember this too. Burger King, close to you, buy upper order 2. Best burger bar 4 miles around. Broiled, not fried. How does that sound?
I remember it now.
That's great. That's better than hold the pickles, hold the lettuce, and don't forget us.
Don't forget it. Don't forget Chuck Zink, man.
Amen.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Good job, by the way. She was excellent. See, it goes to show you. Keep punching those buttons, man. Just keep punching them.
And after about 200, you'll get one.
There you go. So what's wrong with that?
Nothing. Those are good odds.
What is wrong with that? It's good when you can get 200 calls. Over across the street, man, they don't get 200 calls in 6 months. Hey, Juice, what do you think, Juice? Let's have some dolphin love, Juice.
Dolphin love?
Yeah, dolphin love. It's kind of like monkey love, only a little bit bigger.
You're going to make a movie about that, too?
That's coming soon.
Neil.
WQAM, hello, yes.
Neil, how are you?
Good.
I don't know if you talked about it. Did you hear Letterman? O'Reilly was on Letterman.
And Letterman ripped him an ass, and that's great and wonderful. Okay, I don't watch Letterman. And again, they showed the clips again last night, and I'm not interested. In fact, when the game was on, because I was in my high-definition channel, so I was flipping back and forth, and I actually did see about 2 minutes of Letterman, which I haven't seen him in years. And other than getting, like, fatter, I didn't really see very much there. He knocked Bush, he ripped Bush about something, and the audience was like, Even the audience was like semi-comatose, And Paul Schaefer was like repeating everything he said. Paul Schaefer's kind of like the bird,
Why does he do that?
He's like the bird.
He's actually worse, because the bird never just repeated your
No,
lines
he just
back.
tackled. But he's got to repeat everything Dave said in case the audience missed it the first time or it didn't sink in, or maybe it really wasn't very funny, I mean, it's good that he ripped Bill O'Reilly an ass, but the obvious question is, why did he have him on in the first place? Why give him the publicity, see? Well, what's the point?
I don't know.
So obviously he was also benefiting by having this loser honor, because that's us in the media, man. We're all a bunch of whores. That's all. They're all whoring off each other. And O'Reilly doesn't give a crap that he ripped him an ass because he just got more free publicity on there. He doesn't care, and everybody was talking about it. Just like Stern is on for the hour. Let's hope there's no natural disasters tonight or no more breaking news. No more forest fires, because we've got to have Stern on for the entire hour on King. 1,055 votes, and our goal is still 1,000. You think we can make it?
Oh, easy.
got a shot. We got a shot at making our goal during the show. The most overdone news story of the past year, the missing chick in Aruba, 363. How'd that ever turn out?
Oh, it's coming along nice.
Huh.
They're getting closer.
Are they? I heard that Dutch kid's getting closer, too. Terry and her cube, 266. Runaway bride, 188. Michael Jackson trial, 90. Fort Lauderdale kid goes to Iraq, 56, as in Q, 56. Hurricane Katrina, 20. Rosa Parks dies, 19. See, the decreasing numbers means people thought it was more important. Iraq War, 13. New Nazi Pope, 11. Coal miners, 10. Solamente 10. Republican scandal, 6. Supreme Court nominations, 6. Iraq elections, 5. Hurricane Wilma, 2. See, Wilma we think is mighty important because most of us got screwed bad. London bombings in the Cube, none. Oh, those Brits, man. Why can't they just call it the subway like normal people? No, it's the Cube. And Asian earthquakes, also none. Now, do you really think that the, I don't know. Well, I guess because it was a terrorist thing, see? Oh, and speaking of that, speaking of the news media being sick and getting things wrong, do you remember they had those big explosions at the, where the hell was it, in England a few weeks ago? That was right before I went to Amsterdam.
Okay.
And the first day they said it was an accident, and then the second day, oh no, it's terrorist related, and it was and then by the time I got there, oh well, no, it was nothing. It was an accident, and somebody got hurt. How do you like that?
Yeah.
Well, but how come they don't correct it?
Shut
how come
up,
they
Tommy.
don't say? Oh, that's right, I forgot. And by the way, those people in the coal mine?
Yeah, how'd they do it?
Still alive.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
It's Steve Goldstein, but you can call me Geldy. Whenever I'm in town, I listen to... Wait a minute, I am in town. It's the 12 to 1 hour.
Yeah, Mohammed. It's Tuesday, Seth Lauder. There isn't Wednesday. I don't know. It's the Katzenheimers again. Today, we're not going to talk about anything that happened on the show that preceded me. So don't be calling me Hare and calling me Mo. The name ain't Mo. Understand? It's Mo Howard and David. Now, on with the droning moronics of sports. Do we have that actuality queued up?
Everybody in the organization gave 100% after spending the evening with transvestite hookers and said, give me the ball, 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 give me the ball.
Okay, joining us here on the phone, we got Peter King. Peter King. You know Peter King. He's famous. Sports royalty, I tell you. What do you say there, Pete? Who is this?
You got the wrong king.
Who are you?
Tonight, I'm Larry King. 30,000 dead women and children. We're approaching 3,000 dead troops in Iraq. No one can afford to drive. And the president is having someone read your email to him. So joining me tonight will be the remains of Hermione Gingold.
That wasn't Peter King.
I know, I'm sorry. Got him now.
All right. This you, Pete?
No.
Who's this?
Stephen King.
Oh, Stephen King, huh? Well, you don't scare me.
I don't, huh?
No.
Boo.
Right! Help! Get me off the chandelier!
Why did you put a chandelier in the studio in the first place?
I wanted the place to look more like Leonard's a great man. Now get me off of here!
Looks like I don't have to.
So I guess Mo's going to be hanging around a little bit longer, huh? 12:02 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday, January the 5th. All of a sudden, it just, I don't know, it feels like the new year. We're finally into the swing of it, you know?
We're swinging.
All the holidays behind us. We got the Greg Reed mystery is finally solved, and he, like I said, gave me a very nice call yesterday. We confabulated for about 20 minutes on the phone. It was very pleasant, very complimentary, very ass-licking. It was just fine. Then they had the big meeting at 10 o'clock this morning. Our new general manager is Joe Bell. Rhymes with swell.
That's fine.
Right. We're real happy about that. He's coming over from KISS, which means probably Joe Bell's not a sports nerd. You know what I'm saying? He's probably a sports fan, but not a sports nerd. See the difference?
Right.
Which is good for us because the sports nerd factor has always been kind of a thorn in our ass, wouldn't you say?
I'm sorry, I missed that last part.
Guitarist Pete Townshend has warned iPod users they could end up with hearing problems as bad as his own if they don't turn the volume of the music they're listening to down on the earphones. Turn it down! Townsend, 60, guitarist in the 60s band The Who, said his hearing was irreversibly damaged by years of using studio headphones and that he's now forced to take 36-hour breaks between recording sessions to allow his ears to recover. How do you like that? 36 hours, it's like a day and a half.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
It's something.
I've unwittingly helped to invent and refine a type of music that makes its principal components deaf, he said on his website. Hearing loss is a terrible thing. That's what Rush said. While he was popping them oxys. Hearing loss is a terrible thing because it cannot be repaired. If you use an iPod or anything like it, or your child uses one, you may be okay, but my intuition tells me there is terrible trouble ahead. Uh-oh. Well, guess what movie I saw parts of last night? It looked like a pretty good movie, but I didn't see enough of it.
I give up. Big trouble.
Sleepers.
Sleepers?
Not singular, not the Woody Allen Sleeper, but
right.
Sleepers with Brad Pitt and Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman.
Don't think I saw it.
Sleepers.
I'm sure I remember.
Had 3 or 4 stars on the screen there, on the thing, on the blurb. It's about and it's supposed to be a true story. It's written on a very controversial book by a guy who claimed that in juvenile centers in New York that these 3 guys got together and they decided to kill somebody out of revenge and they committed the perfect crime and Brad Pitt was the lawyer and he whatever. I saw parts.
I think I did see that.
Because I was watching the football game, so obviously that was more important than watching some stupid-ass movie. But it looked pretty good to me. Maybe somebody in the audience has seen Sleepers. I'm sure we got a lot of Sleepers out there.
I think I saw it.
No, it couldn't have been that good, though, because, you know, like, if you don't remember it...
Yeah, I know.
How good could it have been? Didn't leave a lasting impression.
Fair. Could have been fair.
Oh. Referring to the increasingly popular practice of downloading music from the Internet, Townsend said, the downside may be that on our computers, for privacy, for respect to family and coworkers, and for convenience, we use earphones at almost every stage of interaction with sound. The Who rock group was famous for its ear-splitting live performances, but Townsend said his problem was caused by using earphones in the recording studio. Get your ass out of that studio, Pete. You lunatic. You
fairy.
567-0560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless line. Coal miners are doing really fine. They came to the church. You know, they kept showing those scenes of those people in church. And, we're good Christian people, and now with the Lord, we provided us with a miracle, and He's taken it away, and we're starting to have doubts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, better late than never.
Maybe God is punishing you for being presumptuous and thinking you know what He wants.
Better late than never, okay? All you Jesus freaks out there, all the God squad, you crazy people. Praying to a non-existent entity up there. It's supposed to be listening to. There's like how many people got? Like 6-7 billion people on the planet, and everybody's praying at the same time. You talk about good hearing, but the Lord must have fantastic hearing. He must have 1 million sets of ears.
Well, He doesn't use headphones. That's why.
Is that what it is? Well, maybe he better start. Maybe that's why he's not hearing too clear. Maybe he got the message wrong. Maybe he got confused and he thought that they were praying that they like all died so they could collect the insurance or something, or sue the coal company.
Maybe he doesn't speak English.
And believe you me, they will. Boy, they're going to get hit with lawsuits that haven't been invented yet.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, every ambulance chaser or attorney in North America is on their way to West Virginia with a banjo on it. WQAM, hello. Probably from the Beasleys. Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, buddy?
All right.
Listen, is it too late to add something to the poll?
No.
Well, as a sports fan, not a sports nerd, right? All year long for the last 6 months, the T.O. story last year. I mean, every time he took
every time he farted, we had to know what flavor it was.
You got that right. Listen, also, don't pick on Wolf too much on CNN. Because if you see how that network's run, right, he speaks like that to the executives to understand what's going on in the world.
Huh?
You know what I mean?
I think you spent too much time in the Situation Room, man.
Yeah, not me.
Good luck to you, Pally.
You too, buddy.
Yeah, we're here in the Situation Room, and and they're talking to these like important people in the world, people who actually mean something. Well, we have to go back to Wolf Blitzer in the Situation Room, but you people at CNN are crazy people. You're insane. You're out of your freaking minds. And MSNBC, just to outdo you, they got Rita Cosby and that Mr. Bowtie on here, and that ponderous terminal Joe Scarborough, who's got a personality like a rock. I don't mean the rock, like a rock, like Iraq, like a dead man. Jesus. You ever seen Joe Scarborough?
Yeah, I have seen him.
Oh, my God. Former Florida Congress stiff. Even Mark Foley said he's never been that stiff. Hey, Mark.
You fairy.
5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. I think it's great that Florida's going
gay.
Yeah, we're going to have a gay governor, Charlie Crist, and we got Mark Foley there in Palm Beach County. Isn't that something?
It's something.
I wonder if all them rednecks know about that. Oh, here's the doctor's updating condition on the blast survivor. Okay, good, thank you. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good, Pally.
Yeah, I just wondered if you read the news from Iraq today. I didn't hear all your show yet.
Yes, I did, about all the dead people, yeah, and 7 more American soldiers killed, yes.
No, there was a bunch of people.
And the 210 dead Iraqis, yes.
Yeah, just the people that were applying to be cops there.
Right.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
I'm glad you let everyone know about that.
Thanks for the bad news.
Bye.
Yeah, more good news from Iraq. See, we always start with it to try to get that out of the way. We don't want to depress you, and we certainly don't want to spread any negative propaganda because that would make us unpatriotic and un-American. Un-American, that's right. And unsupportive of our troops, most of whom, by the way, want to get the hell out of there and get back home.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. I say bring them all back right now. Well, what's the point? Bring them all back by, the weekend. By the end of the day, Sunday, all the troops come back. And whatever the Iraqis do to each other, with each other, it's just like my feeling about the Middle East. If the Jews and the Palestinians want to kill each other, te salud, baby, have a good time.
Right, Gornish Telfin.
Go for it. You know, I mean, if that's what you want to do, have a good time over that piece of crap in the desert there, you know.
Could we stay out
Oh,
of it,
but it's the Holy Land. Yeah, holy my ass.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Holly Holy. Remember that, Neil Diamond? Holly Holy. Boy, can he sing or
no.
He makes me caca. And the fact that you reminded me he's Jewish. You're always doing that, man. It's because you're anti-Semitic.
That's right.
Who was the other one? Oh, James Woods.
What? See, I don't know why you don't like Neil Diamond.
Because he sucks? And because he thinks he's a great singer? Other than that, name me a good Neil Diamond song. You're just looking for a way to sneak that crap on there.
See through me like I was transparent.
Holly, holy. Oh, by the way, whatever happened to Holly on Guiding Light? And where's Philip that's supposed to still be alive, but we forgot about that plot, that storyline. Man. These people that write the soap opera scripts, they do it just to aggravate the viewer. That's the whole purpose of it, just for aggravation's sake.
Here's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, Cracklin' Rosie took her crap. Yeah.
Not Crack Smoking Rose. This one.
From your favorite movie, like that gay cowboy song.
So much can't count all the ways I died for you, girl, and all they can say is not your
It sounds better when Uma Thurman's dancing to it.
I see. What is that song?
Girl, you'll be a woman soon.
Oh, man, that's older than Methuselah.
Sounds very pedophilic to me, if you ask me, Neil. Simon.
Oh. Yeah, well, you ought to know.
Know what?
About all those things.
I ain't my bag.
In fact, there are a lot of people in our audience who were all excited about that Virginia story when they heard there were minors involved. 12 minutes past noon. 12 minutes past noon at 560 WQAM. We got the Mole Man coming along at 2 o'clock. I wonder what his take is on that. He probably won't even mention it, you know. Why would he when he's got only 2 hours to spend? When you got that. That may have been one of the greatest football games ever played last night. Am I wrong about that?
It was very good, very entertaining.
You don't think it was one of the great games ever? Especially a national championship game between an ace and a deuce?
Yeah, it's arguable.
Well, I mean, it went down to the last play.
I think the USC Notre Dame game this past year was way better.
Yeah, but that wasn't the championship game. That was a regular season game, and the ending was phenomenal, and yada yada yada. And Reggie Bush pushed him over the goal line into the end zone. I saw that. That was fine. Although don't be picking on my boy Brady Quinn, please. But no, as far as a championship game, a bowl game, this had to be one of the all-time greats. In spite of what Josh is saying, and you ought to be thumping on your breast about it because it was you picked Texas to win.
I did. Nobody around here thought that was going to happen.
And I apologize to Jorge and wherever he was that faxed me yesterday. I thought I had given you winner. I mean, when you got a 12-point lead with 6 minutes left, you think that you got the game. But you know, when you can't make the big play, when you can't tackle anybody, you're not going to win the game. And when your coach goes for it on 4th and 2, damn near out there in midfield, like on a 42-yard line, that was really bad. I could see it was like 4th and an inch, you know?
Yeah.
In addition to which, it's 4th and 2, he's got Reggie Bush on the sideline.
Not too smart.
I mean, huh?
Not too smart.
Even if he had him in there just as a decoy, so that at least takes a couple of guys that are going to key in on him, thinking he's obviously going to get... No. And he didn't even come close to making it. They didn't even come close Pete Carroll, my ass. Anyway, it was a great game. And Texas, as much as I can't stand them and their obnoxious hook'em horns fans, they deserve to win it. See, fair is fair, you know what? Damn it. 12, well, I mean, you know, I was rooting for USC. That Matt Leinart, he looks pretty good to me. Okay. I'd like to sit down and have a little chat with him. 12:13 at 560 WQAM. Hey, Happy New Year from the fine folks at Armstrong Ford of Homestead. 2005 was a great year, and thousands of new customers took advantage of the Neal deal and bought their new Ford from Armstrong Ford. Thousands. Why do people shop there? It's easy, because Armstrong Ford guarantees you a great price, great service after the sale, and that personal touch that comes from a local family-owned dealership that wants you coming back again and again. Pick up the phone right now and call General Manager David Rich at 305-247-5112. And don't forget, when you buy a new Ford from Armstrong Ford of Homestead, you still get that unbelievable exclusive tires and batteries for life program. That's right, free tires and batteries for the life of your car. That could save you thousands of dollars. David Rich and the staff at Armstrong Ford will guarantee you that you won't find a better price anywhere in town. And like I always tell you, because they're locally owned and operated, they will treat you like you wouldn't believe, because they want to make you a customer forever and ever. No bait and switch, no phony sales. So start off the new year with a new Ford. From our good friend David Rich and the staff at Armstrong Ford of Homestead, you'll find them at 30725 South Dixie Highway, just 20 easy minutes south of the old 836. Check them on the web, ArmstrongCars.com, then drive maybe a few miles extra, but you're going to save a ton of cash when you do your car shopping at Armstrong Ford of Homestead.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Here's, I'll show you mine.
If he came back for Christmas, what would Jesus do? Tell Christians to kiss his ass. If he came back for Christmas, what would Jesus do? Remove their bumper stickers and tell Christians to kiss his ass.
Rectum.
If he came back for Christmas, what would Jesus do? Find a pair of pants, remove their bumper stickers and tell Christians to kiss his ass. If he came back for Christmas, what would Jesus do? Slap Bill O'Reilly, find a pair of pants, remove their bumper stickers, and tell Christians to kiss his ass. If he came back for Christmas, what would Jesus do? Close Walmart down. Slap Bill O'Reilly, find a pair of pants, remove their bumper stickers, and tell Christians to kiss his ass.
Hey, get off your fax machine there, Fatso, up there in Orlando. Eric's on the fax, and I'm trying to fax him the pull for tomorrow. That's okay. I got plenty of time. You hear that in the back? Beep, beep. You hear it? Nice sound effects. Can you hear it?
Yeah, and if the hotline rings, it's also a fax wrong number.
What do you mean by that?
It was ringing. We answered it. It was a fax.
Well, I thought maybe it was somebody who wanted to talk about Skipper Chuck.
Well, that's what we thought, too. And
somebody in the business, and it turned out to be one of them fax things.
Beep.
Yeah. Don't you hate that?
Lots.
12:19. Let's get a whole bunch of calls in between now and 2 o'clock. The calls today have been fabulous, in spite of what that one Ojean provocateur. And that's one of the things about the callers, among many things, you know, that really is most amusing. Oh, these callers have nothing to say. And that woman that went on about the letter with Chuck Zink, and well, what do you got? Nothing but negativity and hostility and hate. That's it. That's the sound of South Florida, baby. We hate you. We don't even know you, but we still hate. We already hate you. It's like, you know, if you get new neighbors that move in, heaven help them, because all their new neighbors hate them, and they don't even know who they are yet. They haven't met them yet. They hate you. And by the way, you know what? Some of my neighbors.
Yeah, what about?
I hate them.
Oh.
I don't want to mention which ones. Especially ones that live so close.
In that direction there?
Yeah.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
No, you don't. 5670560. You know what, boy Gary once lived in my block. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Right down the street. And then one day after he got canned, and he came and knocked on my door and came in and bada-beep, bada-boop, bada. Wow. And then he tried suing everybody for getting the can because he thought that he had a job for life. Was he dumb or what? What an idiot. WQAM, hello. QAM. Don't you like the sound of that call?
Oh, Josh, you got to fix the phones back.
Oh, no. Don't. I just see that.
That's what happens when you
again.
answer it. You got to just reverse what you did there, Josh.
Wait a minute. QAM.
Okay, good.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
Okay.
Listen, I guess judging what you said about Pete Carroll and about that 4th and 2, you didn't hear the interview this morning, huh?
No.
He said that he sent him out there to try to draw Texas all sides, and Matt Liner did that on his own.
Yeah.
He took the snap, trying to get the 2 yards to be, I guess, the hero of the team and, you know, run out the clock.
Well,
and he blew the play.
Still bad coaching, bad communication, man.
But that's why
Reggie
wasn't in
that was the
there
most crucial play of the game for them.
Oh, but that's why he wasn't in there, because he was just trying to draw the Texas defense all sides.
Like I said, that Matt Leinart, he's not much.
No, he's going to be good in the NFL, I think.
No, he's good. He's pretty good.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, pal.
I thought the pitch was the most important. Let's make up our mind here.
What?
I thought the Reggie.
Well, no. You don't understand. If they would have punted and backed them up like inside their own 15-yard line, they wouldn't have had time. I mean, it's possible, but it's highly unlikely. But when you give a team like that, with a quarterback like that, the ball practically in midfield, it's pathetic. There was confusion, man. It was like bad communication, bad clock management. And when a coach starts blaming a quarterback, some young kid, that just tells me he's jealous because Matt Leinart's going to make millions of dollars and looks better than he does, which ain't saying much. That's all, just jealousy. What kind of a coach does that, you know? Coach ought to come out there and say, it's my fault, it was bad communication, and we should have called a timeout, we should have done this, but in fact, didn't they call a timeout? They did call a timeout before that 4th and 2. They did. I'll bet you Matty Bell's life on it right now. Okay. So how can you call a timeout and have any confusion left, okay? You have to tell a quarterback, this is what you do or else you'll never leave this field alive, okay? We're just going to try to draw him offside. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try any fancy plays. And I don't think that was the right play. I think it was the 4th and 1 where he wanted to draw him offside. I think this guy's got it confused with the other play earlier. Remember that?
Yes.
Now, that was the play. Not the 4th and 2. That was a Pete Carroll decision. Make no mistake about it. Jets, Jets, as in suck. Oh, here's line 9, QAM. Hello. And it's the mushroom again. Well, what have you done with my phone? QAM. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
Is this the best you can do? You bitch.
Yeah, this is the best I can do. Is this the best you can do? You got?
Oh, there's a fax machine right now.
Oh yeah. Here's the fax machine.
Hit it twice. We'll fix it.
Why do I have to keep hitting this twice? QAM.
Because we answered it, and that's.
I want to talk to the fax tone. QAM. How you doing?
I want to talk to the two-tone.
5670560. Was that the Whisperer on 9? Who was that? Or maybe that was a new Whisperer.
Whatever, some crowd.
WQAM. Hello. QAM. Oh, it's the mushroom again. And now it's on. I can't do this. Okay.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
How can you be on there when you're like, oh, this is all over the place? Go ahead.
I just want to say really quick, I want to say hello. One, I got a friend of mine who works for America West, which is actually America Worst.
America Worst, that's what I'm hearing, man. Bad things about that airline.
I wanted to say really quick, a couple of days ago, you were talking about it. She works for them, and she's like, this is how pathetic they've been lately. She's only supposed to work 6 hours for one day. 2 days in a row, she worked 19 hours because people decided not to show up, and then they had 2 late planes come in. 1 2-hour delay. One actually went out on time, but was supposed to go out on time, but had to come back because of a fuel issue. So that's bad, huh? That's loud.
That's bad. Okay, well, thanks for the bad news. We already know. Too late. No. Yes, he says. See, wasted. Now, that was a bad call. Now, so what are we doing with the phone? Would you like to give me like a little heads down, heads in, heads out?
Obviously, nothing here works the way that it's supposed to.
What do you mean by that? I mean, we were a little long there. We had a lot of bad calls, and they were able to come on. How without hitting? So I'll try hitting this one once.
It's going to happen that way until we reset it.
I hit this one. Oh, there's the mushroom, and here's another one. Yeah, okay, good. See, the symbol on there doesn't change, and then all of a sudden, after you hit it the second time, like about 10 seconds later, it changes.
You know Telos and how they suck?
They suck.
And how they're
maybe now that we got a new general manager, we might get some better equipment that actually works instead of a piece of crap.
I ain't going to pipe
the garbage that they saddled us with on their high-paid midday show.
So that's part of the side effect of actually picking up that handset, is that it changes the mode of itself.
Well, what kind of crap is that?
It's crap, and it has
what
to be
kind of a
reset.
communist bunch of swill is that?
You can use it one way or to other, ne'er the twain shall meet.
I see. So I'll punch this once, and I don't have to punch it again, because even when I don't, it's still there. QAM, hello.
Are the phones working now? Just checking, making sure.
Line checker, good. Phones are working, okay? Have no fear. Have some material when you call, okay? Besides, is this the best you can do? And blah, 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 like that. Come up with something a little bit new and creative, okay? You losers, you quisling, you fairy. God. Man, oh, man. Oh, line 9 again. It'll be the same one. QAM, loser line. Hello.
This is Eddie.
Yeah, that fake Eddie. Yeah, fake Eddie. You're so far away. You ain't no Eddie, mister. I know Eddie, and you ain't no Eddie. Brother. Uh-oh, worker fell 35 feet into an empty water tower in Georgia somewhere. 2 workers were painting the tower. One fell into the tank. You see that on CNN?
No.
So maybe this story is going to go on all day, and we'll have to preempt big parts of the King Show again tonight, and Howard won't get his 60 Minutes of Fame again.
No, I've always wondered what it was like in one of those tanks.
Well, I guess now we'll find out. We'll get the inside scoop.
Oh.
Fell 35 feet into an empty water tower in Jackson County, Georgia. See if there was water in there.
Oh,
and, well,
yeah.
I guess,
Didn't know it was empty.
And they got the other couple of workers sitting up there on top, and they're like going to drop something down, like maybe lunch. Probably some church's chicken would be good. 27 past noon. Then, of course, if he has too much lunch, he might have to do a little number in there in the water tower. And then when they fill it up with water, oh, man. You know those floaters?
Yeah, I know.
27 afternoon at QAM. Well, it's that time of the year again for New Year's resolutions. This year, you've got the best option to lose weight and get healthy again. Balance for Life, that magical black sack. And this year, we're going to help the Beast out and get him ready for his wedding day, providing him with gourmet meals from Balance for Life. Tune in every day for updates of his progress and, of course, our chance to rip him a bigger, fatter ass every day. What could be easier than getting 3 gourmet meals and 2 delicious snacks delivered in a black sack every day right to your doorstep and still lose weight? And the best part of it is they give you a menu. You pick the choices for every day. You get to pick what you eat, and it's fantastic. Delicious food that keeps you on the straight and narrow path. Why would you want to join a gym? Fight the traffic, fight the crowds in the gym, follow somebody on a sweaty machine, wait for the cardio equipment, and then quit after just a few weeks out of frustration and still be as fat as a tub. Relax this year. Sign up for Balance for Life. Get a weekly menu of meal selections and let them do all the work because the meals come right to your doorstep and you're going to lose weight like crazy. Sit back and eat gourmet meals as your friends and coworkers rush off in the dead of winter during those South Florida snowstorms to the gym snacking on carrot sticks and rice cakes. So get in the zone with Balance for Life. Call them now toll-free and start losing that weight as soon as the first day. Call 1-866-225-4543. That's 1-866-225-4543, or check them on the wicked web at balanceforlife.com. Don't wait. Call Balance for Life right now. Mention Neil Rogers or QAM and get 2 days free this week. 2 days of food free this week if you call right now. 1-866-225-4543.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM. And a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. Hank Goldberg, weekdays 7 to 10. On morning station. Sports Radio 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. I got my ticket for King Kong. Got my jujubes and my popcorn's warm. Hollywood these days. Would replace some girl with a love strike cowboy who's gay. Can you sit there in your seat watching that giant monkey? You could wait for the DVD. Preparation ain't your need. Hope that you don't fall asleep. Why did they remake it? Yeah, the special effects are neat, but 3 hours is too long for me. I need an intermission to pee. Before kicking up for King Kong.
12:32. So the verdict on King Kong is Josh thought it was good.
I thought it was good.
And you thought it was good.
Right.
Yeah. So what's not to like?
Right.
Nothing. Just take a
I guess
wee
I'm going to
bag
go
with
out
you.
and see it right away. So what movie are you sending me?
I'm going to send you the South Park episode.
Oh, South Park episode with Tom Cruise and the Catholics.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you want to, but I have both. I have South Park episodes. If you would watch them on the computer, I could just email them to you.
No. Give them to me and I'll burn them on a disc for him.
I'm not going to watch them on a computer.
I'm just all right. I was just offering.
Come on,
with all due respect.
Come on, punk. You ought to know better.
No, why would you want to watch it on a computer when you can watch it on your big,
big fat
HD TV thing?
Right.
Oh, that came last night in HD, man. That was fantastic. I'm sure that Josh enjoyed it on his HD TV set on his Samsung that George bought him for Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah.
How you like it?
It's great.
That was sensational. Palm Beach County. Wait till you hear this. And I sure hope they stop voting for Pat Buchanan. That might actually be a benefit to Florida. Palm Beach County now has the 4th largest Jewish population in the U.S., eh?
Oy!
How do you like that? Jews in Palm Beach. Meteoric growth has made Palm Beach County's Jewish community the 4th largest in the nation, according to a survey released yesterday by the county's 2 Jewish federations. The average age, of course, is 90+. The county's Jewish population is 255,550, 5,000 of whom voted for Pat Buchanan in 2000. Placing it ahead of Broward and Dade counties and behind only New York, L.A., and Chicago. Is that incredible or what? What do you think about that?
Right.
What's the population of Palm Beach County? That's not possible, is it? Do a Google on it. What's the population of Palm Beach County? I thought it was like 500,000, which would make half of the county Jewish. The Jewish community in Palm Beach County has developed literally overnight compared to older Jewish communities in the older in the northeastern U.S., said Jeff Klein, head of the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County, which serves areas from Boynton Beach to Jupiter and Uranus. Klein and officials from the Jewish Federation of South Palm Beach County, which serves the Boca del Rey and Highland Beach areas, spoke yesterday at Temple Shirai Shalom, a Reform synagogue west of Boynton Beach, where that's Jewish Light, Reform synagogue, Jewish Light, where the Jewish population is skyrocketing. It's skyrocketing. There are Jews dropping out of the sky. They're coming in banana boats.
The 2004 population was 1,243,000.
Palm Beach County's got over 1 million people?
How do you like that?
1 million and what, 1.2?
Yes.
So that means that 20% of Palm Beach is Jewish. 20%. How do you like that, boys and girls? Okay, so if you want to open up a halavah stand, that's where to do it, right there in Boynton Beach. Federation officials say they face the challenge of promoting a sense of Jewish identity among new arrivals not bound by the historic roots that anchor Jewish communities in the Northeast. Officials who presented the survey are concerned that the emerging groups of Jews in Palm Beach County includes growing numbers of young families who are not affiliated with any synagogue, participate little in Jewish community life, and donate less to Jewish causes than older groups. And I salute them, by the way. In other words, we don't have a bunch of Getchkis. Only 32% of the county's Jews are affiliated with a synagogue. That number drops to 16% among those 35 and younger, to which I say, there's hope for us after all. Hope for the world. Now, if we can just say that about all the other nutty religions. Federation officials say they're devising strategies to reach out to younger Jewish families and Jews who only loosely identify with their faith. We need to accept people where they are, not where we want them to be. We need to reach out to the unaffiliated, the intermarried, and the assimilated, etc., and so on. Just 6 years ago, there were 215,000 Jews in Palm Beach, and now 6 years later, it's grown by, 40,000? They're dropping in from the sky, baby. They're coming in hot air balloons. They're all over the place. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, okay, whatever.
And just wait till the people in Broward, the Goyim in Broward, find out there's a few Jews in Broward, too. They're not too happy about that. Let's see. Here's the facts from Rick. It says... it's about Skipper Chuck. I'm really... Well, I guess you burned that out Monday and Tuesday.
Well, he wasn't dead. He was just ailing. And
that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't you wait till he died? At least have the decency before you put the guy in the ground?
No,
I guess you could say you were ahead of your time.
The time when, to be nice is while they're still
alive. Well, let's talk about Ariel Sharon then.
He was a kind man.
Oh, look at who's this guy? Who's this? Speaking of Getchkis with a shmata on.
With the propeller.
Shimon Peres, who had moved from labor.
Oy, Vezmir, they got a reporter from Israel on there with a shmata head. Oh my God, nice rag though, man. Look at that thing, nice beanie. Good golly, Miss Ma. What is happening to this world? They've just all gone nuts.
Yeah, they have.
Rick says, having been born and raised in Miami, I remember Skipper Chuck fondly. I'm deeply saddened when I heard the news this morning. I wish the family would change their minds and let us know when and where the service will be so we can go to pay our respects to a man who impacted thousands of South Florida children. Well, I mean, the family are the ones who are going to decide that, and I've looked again, and I don't see any announcement. So maybe it's going to be a private thing. I wonder if they'll sell DVDs of his show. I would be the first one in line to buy one, says Rick.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, Neil, in the words of the skipper, peace, love, and happiness to all. You'll be missed, and our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family, says Rick. Well, there's a nice fact from Rick. How do you like that? Who cares about Skipper Chuck? As opposed to just being some mean-spirited South Florida jackass who wants to go either on the phone or on the fax machine, or both. WQAM, hello. And it's still doing. I'm not doing this, okay? Did you reset the phone? I guess not.
Not.
Well, why not?
Well, we tried.
Well, what do you mean you tried?
It didn't take.
Well, try again. Do I have to reset it on this end now?
No. It's just us. Do it.
I don't want to see the old man. Huh?
I'm telling Josh to do it now.
Do it now, baby. Do it. As Nancy Reagan would say, just do it.
You can do it!
Yeah, look at that raghead.
Very easy. Netanyahu, his campaign since he was...
Boy, this guy is so Jewish. It just I'm overwhelmed by it, you know? I'm starting to swoon a little bit. Just a little bit too Jewish for me. 5670560. Our phones are screwed up. What a novelty at QAM. Maybe now that we got a new general mangler, he might stick his tentacles and testicles into, engineering and sales and get a little bit involved. If there was if there were 1,000 things that Greg may have been negligent about, that was, he was a hands-off kind of GM. You know what I mean by that?
No, what?
He spent too much. In fact, he even said maybe one of these days I'll meet him for lunch for sushi. That was one of our parting lines on the phone yesterday. Maybe we'll have. I says, hold your breath, Greg.
Hey, test the phone there.
I beg your pardon?
Pop a line on.
WQAM, hello. And now it works.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. WQAM, hello.
Works fine.
I had a little rectum. I made it out of flesh, and when it's wet and ready,
See, I did that story about Jews in Palm Beach, and they just lost it.
I wanted to see where that song was going.
Yeah, I bet you want to see where it went.
Rectum.
I know where it went. And I heard it wasn't little either. Well, who the hell was it? Oh, it was Jack Nicholson on something I was watching yesterday, talking about how he had a big fat ass. 12:40, 22, but a beautiful fat ass. 20 before 1 at QAM. We're working our way. This is the Mo Howard David pregame show. I'm sure that I'm going to be sitting in here for hours listening to his analyzation of last night's big Rose Bowl game. Not. I mean, what's to analyze? It was a great game, and the coach blew it, and he's blaming everybody else. When you're shopping for shoes, comfort and fit is what it's all about, and value, too. Nobody wants to pay too much for name-brand shoes, which is why you ought to go over to Brandy's, because they've got the biggest selection of name-brand shoes anywhere in town at unbeatable prices every day. Brandy's carries a sensational selection of all the top brands like Florsheim, Rockport, Echo, Mephisto, New Balance, SAS, and all the others, too. And Brandy's professional shoe fitters will make sure you've got a customized fit of your favorite comfort shoe. Just ask for Arnie. He'll make sure you get the perfect fit. And the pros at Brandy's even specialize in wide widths as well. They really understand fit and comfort, and as far as giving you the best price, nobody beats Brandy's. So they're worth a trip from just about anywhere in town. Brandy's shoes, you'll find them at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Brandy's is open every day till 9. That's Monday through Saturday, and every Sunday even till 5. And this week is a stupendous time to buy SAS shoes at Brandy's. Take 20% extra off on all great men's and women's SAS styles this week. So be sure to get your butt into Brandy's this week or do your shoe shopping on their website at brandysshoes.com.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Talk today about why we went into Iraq, why we stayed in Iraq, and why we cannot and will not leave Iraq for generations to come. It is because of oil. As president, I'm responsible for the decision to go into Iraq. At any point along the way, I could have avoided war. So we misled the American people, and rightly so. Stakes in Iraq are high because of oil, and we will not leave until victory has been achieved. May God bless you all.
Do tell them, baby. 1244. The Florida Supreme Court struck down the state's voucher system that allows some children to attend private schools at taxpayer expense today, saying it violates the state's constitution's requirement of a uniform system of free public schools. How do you like that?
Yeah.
There's one for the good guys. No more of this Glacier crap. School vouchers, my ass, my fat ass in your governor's case. You miserable idiot. What?
I said that'd be a big voucher.
Yeah. Thursday's 5-2 opinion struck down the Opportunity Scholarship Program championed by fat-ass Governor Jeb Bush, by Farbissen Governor Jeb Bush, which was the nation's first statewide system of school vouchers. About 700 children statewide are using the program to attend a private or parochial school after transferring from a public school the state considers to be failing. Like our governor, failing. Chief Justice Barbara Pariente, writing for the majority, said the program diverts public dollars into separate private systems parallel to and in competition with the free public schools, which are the sole means set out in the state constitution for educating Florida's children. Private schools are also not uniform when compared with each other or the public school system, and they're exempt from many standards imposed by law in public schools, such as mandatory testing, she added. And God only knows what kind of crap they're teaching, too, by the way. Justices Kenneth Bell and Raul Cantero, both appointed by Bush, dissented. Raul Cantero. What a surprise, huh? Nice going, Raul. Maybe some of them cannibals right now are eating Raul. The 99 law previously had been ruled unconstitutional by the First District Court of Appeals on grounds that it violated the separation of church and state in the Florida Constitution. The High Court found no need to address that issue after finding vouchers violate the public education provision. The law was challenged the day after Bush signed it. More than a dozen groups filed Friends of the Court briefs in the case, ranging from the U.S. Department of Justice supporting the state to the International Reading Association supporting the voucher opponents. Those opponents include the Florida Education Association, the State Teachers Union, the Florida PTA, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and the League of Women Voters. Two more recent voucher programs dwarf the Opportunity Scholarships. Nearly 14,000 students attend private schools on McKay Scholarships, which was created for children with disabilities, and another 10,000 poor children attend private schools on scholarships funded by businesses that get tax credits from the state. And a partridge in a pear tree. So there's one again against your fat-ass governor, just like Terry and her, just like the slots, and just like the offshore drilling and every other damn thing he comes down on the wrong side of. This is a piece of crap, a disaster. But he's wildly popular in Florida because at least half the population is dumber than sawdust. God, what a place. What a state of depression. When you're in Florida, man, you know what state you're in.
Yeah.
A state of depression. Speaking of state of depression, guess what?
What?
The son of Indianapolis Colts coach Tony Dungy used a belt to hang himself from a ceiling fan, according to the 9/11 call the teen's girlfriend made when she found him last month. Sounds like bad parenting to me, Josh.
You never know.
Sounds like bad parenting to me, Tony. I think God will get even during the playoffs. You'll see. Antoinette Anderson returned to James Dungy's apartment. We got the game Saturday, too, by the way. We got the Patriots in Jacksonville on Saturday. Got a couple of games Saturday, right?
Right.
Wow. High-pressure weekend, man. Heavy duty. Take a lot of drugs between now and the weekend. Going to be tremendous amount of pressure. When's that Dolphin playoff game on? Antoinette Anderson returned to James Dungy's apartment after a 10-minute walk early December 22nd to find him apparently lifeless, according to tapes released yesterday. The tape is the first public indication of how James Dungy, 18, apparently killed himself. This whole thing has been kind of like shrouded in mystery, wouldn't you say?
I would say.
Yeah. Well, what the hell do you know? You would know Tony Dungy from Tony Schwartz. Who? I think my boyfriend's dead, an anguished Anderson told an emergency dispatcher. I think he tried to hang himself or something. She told the dispatcher she had used a knife to cut James Dungy down. She told the dispatcher Dungy's roommate was asleep in another room. Get the roommate up, the dispatcher told Anderson. You're going to need some help here, okay? Okay?
Okay.
Anderson is then heard telling the roommate, whose name has not been released, I think he's dead, like for real, and I'm on the phone with 911. The two tell the dispatcher Dungy isn't moving. The dispatcher tells him how to perform CPR as Anderson cried. Force 2 deep breaths of air into the lungs, just like you're blowing up a big balloon, the dispatcher said. Did you do that? Yes, Anderson said. I just don't think he's alive. You feel air going in, the dispatcher asked. Anderson replied, No. 2 no's.
No.
A Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputy soon arrived and took over the CPR. A paramedic crew took Dungy to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. The local medical examiner has called the death an apparent suicide, but has refused to give an exact cause pending results of toxicological tests that should be ready in about a month. You said toxicological tests.
Toxicological tests.
Good. On October 21st, James... Well, you never know when you're going to be reading a story, and you might have to read that.
Maybe tomorrow.
On October 21st, James Dungy was treated after overdosing on painkillers. Then he calmly told a 911 dispatcher he was just being stupid and taking about 18 pills. He was taken to a hospital for treatment. James Dungy had moved back to the Tampa area from Indianapolis last year to attend college. His father had coached the Bucks from 96 to 2001. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if the ghost of James Dungy hovers over the Bucks in the playoffs this year and they make an early exit. Tony Dungy missed one game after his son's death, returned to the Colts sideline. How do you like that? Now, let's see. Who did the Bucks? Wasn't New Orleans? Was it that they squeaked by on Sunday?
That's right.
I mean, that was pretty embarrassing. They were like all out to beat a little girls' team. All out. God. And what is this thing about that's no Jackrabbit, it's an artist in chains?
Oh,
what
it's
is
just
this?
A story. It's whatever.
Is it funny? Is it
amusing?
Is
Whatever.
It, it's not too good. If you give me like, we don't have time for grade Z material today, okay? We got to crank it up a couple of notches so that guy isn't disappointed. The crank on line 9, Come on, call us back again on line 9, Pally. We're really starting to enjoy you a lot. Let's see if that's the best you got, sweetheart. We know what you got. Smoothie. Blueberry, I think. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. Let's get those phones smoking, baby. Wake up and live. Skipper Chuck died, and you people are like, bleh. You're like, same old crap, man. Same old crap. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Too bad that Prozac Ron wasn't on that Skipper Chuck show. He'd have gotten a couple of spankings, might have straightened his ass out.
I think Scrubby would have given it to him.
There you go. Here's our guy, QAM.
Neil, what's your take on the NFL draft?
Yeah, take this. Take this. Take up whatever those pills were that James Dungy took. Take about 80 of them, okay, and call us back tomorrow from the other side, sweetheart. What a loser. But please keep calling. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I have no idea who Skipper Chuck is, and I grew up down here, but that's not why I'm calling.
How could you not know who Skipper Chuck is?
Who was he? Was he a radio personality?
No, a TV guy, man. He was the most famous. He had the most famous kid show in the history of South Florida, along with Wayne Ferris.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't little enough. But the reason I'm calling is I know some people have called you in the last couple of days about Dick Clark's, his performance. I never watched those ball drop shows, but it was brutal. They were at one point,
where the balls drop? Yeah, I've seen a few.
At one point, they finally have him, doing the countdown. The first thing he said at all, and it's unintelligible. You can't understand a word he's saying. And then you hear this weird sucking, gasping sound, and then all of a sudden they pan to him kissing his wife, and it was one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen.
Wow. Yeah, she probably felt the same way about it.
The sound effect was just disgusting. You had to hear it. Have a great
day. Once again, beat me to it. That's the one I was going to play, too. Okay, well, you don't have to worry about Dick too much longer, pal. That's what I'm hearing. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. I tried to tell these people, weren't we on top of that story, man, thanks to the Inquirer? While the PR people were trying to cover it up, that he had a mild stroke, yeah, and then the second one they didn't even bother telling about, the one that damn near killed him, turned him into a vegetable. That'll teach him for messing with Michael Moore. Just stop and think about that scene again in Bowling for Columbine, where he's sitting in that big, whatever that thing is, that big SUV.
It was like a caravan or something.
Well, whatever the hell it was, yeah, big caravan. The Dick Clark caravan. And he's got all of his assistants in there and Michael Moore, and, Okay. Well, we got a meeting. Let's go. Close the door. I'm not sure who was more hostile, those congressmen that were running, and especially the one that ran away from Michael Moore, remember? He tried to shake his hand,
right.
And he pulled his hand away from him like, unclean.
Got on a bicycle and took the hell out of it.
Oh, my God. That was beautiful. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
The movie Sleepers.
Yes.
How much of it did you actually see?
I don't know, maybe 45 minutes altogether, here and there, because I was watching the ball game.
Definitely worth watching. I don't know if you know, the whole thing is Kevin Bacon plays a child molesting warden at a boys' prison.
Right.
He molests these kids when they're young. And, it's pretty graphic. I mean, it's very disturbing. It's, they go to jail for, chasing a hot dog vendor down. They're stealing a hot dog vendor's hot dog. The guy chases him. They take his cart, actually, and they lose control of the cart. It goes flying down the subway trains and, the subway stairs and kills the guy at the bottom. So they get put in juvenile detention for that. Mm-hmm. And this is Kevin Bacon and all his guys are molesting him. And then once they get out, the two guys happen to run into him when they're 25 years old in a restaurant. They bada bing. And
he was already. I saw him in the credits. He was the first name mentioned in the credits, but he was already dead by the time I saw it.
Yeah, exactly. You missed the whole first part of the movie, is the kids growing up and De Niro being the priest, and how De Niro helped. De Niro's a priest who helped actually to lie to get him out of the jackpot.
How do you like the way De Niro kept the Knicks ticket, the stubs to the tickets in his pocket?
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
But it was if you ever have the opportunity to either rent it or buy it or watch it.
Well, let me see. So was Brad Pitt was one of them?
Brad Pitt was a friend.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm trying to get because it's been a while.
Well, he was in on it, right? Even though he was supposed to be the prosecutor, he was in on it.
Absolutely, he was in on it. He was right. He was one of the kids. And the two guys that ended up killing the warden were like they had problems with the law all through. Once they get out.
Because I noticed that at the end of it, and even in the blurb about it at the bottom of the screen, it said that the author of the book claimed that it was a true story and only the names had been changed, and the juvenile justice system in New York State denied that it ever happened, and yada yada. So we have to believe the author, obviously.
That's correct. Yeah, it was really good. Try to catch it from the beginning if you can.
Okay, well it's on one of those movie channels. It'll be on a lot.
And one quick question for you. Somebody I've been meaning to ask you for a while. What is the origin of you referring to Don Shula as the brainstem? How did that ever happen? What's that all about? I've always wondered.
It's from a bit.
How did that happen?
It's in a bit. One of the bits that we have, and I forget by whom, refers to. It's like the future of the Dolphins, and Shula's a brainstem in a jar.
Oh, that's right. That's it. And especially the part where Shula says,
I just wasn't conscious.
Yeah.
It's the comedy of the bit is that Shula will never retire, and in the year 25-25, he's still coaching as a brainstem.
His brainstem is in a jar, and he's still coaching the team. And quite frankly, he could have beat Dave Wanstead doing it.
I guess now we can reform the W as the brainstem, pretty much.
There you go. Thanks, Pally.
See ya.
See ya. Yeah, the brainstem is your president, although, of course, to have a brainstem, you have to have a brain, I guess.
Right. Well, not necessarily, but he doesn't even have that.
I see.
No
Hey, it's kind of like that thing about the hole they found in Sharon's heart. I find that hard to believe because in order to have a hole in your heart, you have to have a heart.
Well, he had a holy heart.
Oh, is that what it was? Was it a
for the holy
heart?
Hey. This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 GAM.
It's the 1 to 2 hour highway.
When some schlumio tries to put me down and says he has a larger congregation, I tell him right away, now listen here, sir Nick, ain't you heard of my show? It's number 1 in the nation. All the space, Gimbal, dollars, we're so be true to your show. Like you would to your mule. Be true to your show. I dare you to go. Be true to your show. I got a new cloth yarmulke embroidered in gold. It's sure is bold. I wear it everywhere when I go round to other AZAs. They don't know what to say. So be true to your show.
It's 101 at 560 WQAM. You were right. I think I'm transferring my psychic powers to you.
What?
Well, you started with the Skipper Chuck thing on Monday and Tuesday, and then he died yesterday.
I feel real bad about that.
Now you told me, yeah, I think you had something to do with it. You probably put him over the edge.
No, it did
and now you said that there were 2187, the U.S. death toll in Iraq with the 7 more today. 2,187. We're approaching that 2,200 mark. That'll be the point at which the American public says, okay, that's enough. Not. No, the American public is like busy with the coal miners. 130 dead Iraqi civilians today, many of whom were, standing in line to be police, but ain't going to be. They're going to be dead police.
That's a good
130 Iraqis and 58 yesterday, so that's like 188. You said about 200, so there you go.
See?
So I guess probably the terrorists, the insurgents, they're monitoring this show, and when you come up with a number, they're like trying to okay, we're almost at our quota.
All right, for tomorrow?
About 30, man.
Oh, no. It's kind of like the porkers with their quota on writing them traffic tickets.
Don't get me started.
Well, they must be having a rough time on the new hiatus road there up by me in Plantation because they don't have the big bushes yet. Probably the hurricane.
You had just left town. So this little 11-year-old girl got struck and killed in a school zone, and the people are screeching, and they say, the people don't stop for these lights. We've told the cops. They don't do anything about it. They just keep running through the lights, and that's exactly what happened. A lady ran a light and killed a little kid because nobody's stopping for red lights here, but they're writing speeding tickets.
Right. Well, it's dangerous work trying to stop people speeding through them lights, You have to get involved in the middle of traffic and go weaving through there and put on the siren.
Lights on.
Yeah. As opposed to just sitting under a bush, which I was saying about on the new hiatus road, they just have these real skinny trees, so they can't hide under the bushes or behind the trees yet until they grow enough crap on them. So that's about one of the only positives from the hurricane is it blew all that foliage away, so that Porky doesn't have any place to hide on that road. So evidently they're trying to find new places to hang out. Pretty sad. That's really important police work. Make no mistake about it. 5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon singular wireless line. Skipper Chuck died yesterday. Ariel Sharon's got a hole in his heart and a hole in his head, and he's off Taurus over there in Israel now. He's hanging on by a thread. Look at that. Clings to life after brain hemorrhage and surgery.
And heart function. His brain and his heart are operating by themselves on their own without any kind of intervention whatsoever.
The interesting part of this is, speaking of the media can't get anything right, last night one of the reports on one of the networks, and I don't want to say which because I'm not sure which one it was, said, well, his organs are rapidly failing and it'll be a miracle if he lives through the night. And now didn't she just get through saying that his brain and his heart are functioning on their own without any assistance?
Who are you going to believe?
And speaking of ass, can you imagine the size of his ass?
Good God.
I bet you that there are kibbutzes in Israel that aren't the size of his ass. Good God.
He's got a big caboose?
If he didn't weigh at least 600, man. 77 years old, bigger than a house, and eating halava by the handful and 2 big pieces of chocolate cake. Probably trafe. 5670560. I still think it was that bacon cheeseburger that did him in. The Lord said, bada bing, man. That's it. You're done. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Yeah, how you doing?
Okay.
Good, I'm on a mobile. I want to talk to Neil.
Speaking.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, buddy?
I'm still doing okay.
Hey, long time no talk to you. Listen, I'm back in town. I moved up to Tennessee about 9 months ago.
You moved up to Tennessee? Yeah.
It's nice up there, man. I just came back yesterday. Legal stuff to take care of.
Right.
Man, I was on the, what do they call it, the Caribbean Grand Prix last night on 95.
Yeah.
That was insane.
The Caribbean Grand Prix.
Oh, it's like everybody was left, right, changing lanes, swerving, accidents everywhere. It was incredible. But I just turned you on. I'm heading back to Tennessee as we speak.
Yeah, get out of there fast, man. I was there for 3 days over the weekend, and I don't ever want to be back, not anytime soon.
Have you ever been up to Tennessee?
I was in Nashville for 1 month in 1980 on WLAC.
Oh, man, it's beautiful. That's God's country up there, man.
It was, they're very heavy God country, right.
Yeah,
a church on every corner and a bar across the street. What's that like?
I'll tell you a funny story. I wasn't even there like 3 days, moved into my new house, and my neighbor came over and handed me a little pamphlet from her church and said, well, I don't really know if you have a church yet, but this is our church, if you're interested in coming.
Right. Yeah, you better get your ass in the church in Tennessee, man, or they're going to come and give you whiplash.
I got 1 foot foot in hell's door already. I don't think they're going to even take me.
Yeah, they won't help. Okay, good luck to you, Pally.
Hey, nice talking to you.
See ya. How do you like that? There's a guy who's in Tennessee and actually likes it there. Now, that says a lot. I still refer you to the Sun Sentinel poll from overnight about the, are you moving? Are you thinking of moving? Would you like to get out? 72% say, oh, hell yes. So I don't feel, not that I ever felt guilty, because I know that I have a lot of company out there. People are it just ain't what it was, man. It ain't what it was. And as far as the Caribbean, hey, welcome to the islands, man. Welcome to the islands. South Florida's become like a cesspool, like a dumping ground for a lot of swill that floated up, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, welcome to the islands, man. Where's a good machine gun, man? That's what I'm saying. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil. Neil, I hope Ariel Sharon dies a painful death, and I want to be right there.
Okay, well, we'll get you a plane ticket on
I want me and you to be right there, Neil.
Okay, you can be on one side, I'll be on the other side.
Yeah, with a video camera.
Okay, I'll pull the plug. with a video camera. 5670560. He'll be dead before the end of the week. You'll see.
Yeah, probably.
And then they're going to bring in this lackey of his who's just a carbon copy, which is okay because at least he was trying to make a little piece, a piece of this, a piece of that, which is kind of interesting because he was the one that gave the green light for all those illegal settlements in the first place. But nevertheless,
and they're still funding them. But
nevertheless, don't start again with your anti-Semitism where you play as you Palestinian liquor. Although, like I said, those Palestinians. Remember what I said yesterday?
Yeah, I'll have to take your word for it.
No, you don't. Believe me.
All right.
There are some beautiful Palestinian people. The ones that are still alive.
I think I met one guy once.
Wow.
Years.
WQAM.
And you would have liked him, too.
I'll bet I would. QAM, yes.
Neil, how are you?
Pretty good.
Listen, you were talking about before the guy was asking about Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, that was, let me tell you, I've gone there twice. One was for business. The other one was for transit because I had to change a plane to go to Vancouver, British Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a beautiful place.
That's what I hear. Everybody raves about it.
That is a beautiful place. And the temperature was very comfortable. A lot of green mountains with white top snows on the top.
Right.
Waterfalls, and it's very nice downtown area.
Really scenic, yeah.
Very scenic, very
Vancouver
nice.
is, I'm told, paradise.
Phoenix, oh my God.
Yeah, you got to be at least 100 years old.
Hot, and they go, oh yeah, it's 100 degrees, but it's dry. And I said, I don't care, 100 degrees is 100 degrees.
Yeah, it only feels like 98.
Yeah, it's terrible. I'll never go back unless I got to fly through the airport. That's it. But it's a beautiful place. And then as far as the islands are concerned, you're right. There's a lot of pirates and stuff in the Caribbean.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but there's some other nice places there you got to go. But you got to have the money, like you. You got a lot of money. There's some beautiful places you can go, but you just got to have the money.
I'll stick with Berlin, baby.
Berlin. Okay, I'll be the same.
Okay.
Bye.
Do svidania. Tot ziens. Doei. Wow. See you around, eh? That one always works. See you around, eh? Be sure if you're an American tourist and you go like anywhere, be sure and have that Canadian toucan.
Right.
Or like a Canadian T-shirt with a big Canadian flag. Don't tell anybody you're an American or like, bada bing, they get a little angry. They get a little unfriendly and hostile.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they don't con to Americans no more because they hate Bush like poison. And so as a result, Americans get like the fallout, you know. Like we're guilty by association. And some of you idiots actually voted for him. Once or twice, or at least they pretended you did. How's the poll coming? We've been remiss, haven't we? Haven't we been amiss? 1,225 votes. Our goal is 1,000 on the poll during the show. Oh, the surgery was on the right side of Sharon's brain as opposed to the wrong side. Oh, and there he is with Bush. Oh, between the two of them, man. Talk about a brain. Talk about a genius in waiting.
Wow.
For him. For the state that he was in, his treatment was carried out by the...
Well, he was carried out. The most overdone news story of the past year is 1,225 vote. The missing chick in Aruba, 426. And Terry and her Cuba, 310. I'm always impressed by the girls in high school and the marching bands that play the tuba. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, sure.
Wow. Talk about having really strong lips. Runaway Bride 221, Michael Jackson trial 99, Fort Lauderdale kid goes to Iraq 63, Hurricane Katrina 25. Oh no!
Couldn't resist.
Oh, my God. We've got it all, man. There's nothing we don't have.
And that was just, I pulled my pants down.
Yeah, exactly. That was beautiful. Oh, that just sent me into orbit. Hurricane Katrina, man, 25. Rosa Parks dies, 22. Who? Iraq War, 14. The new Nazi Pope, 12. Coal miners, only 10. Oh, please. Republican scandals, 8. Supreme Court nominations, 6. The Iraq election, 6. And they're still counting, by the way. They're still dumbing up some votes. Hurricane Wilma, 2. Asian earthquakes, 1. And the London bombings in the London...
Cube.
None. 0. Because that was a terrorist act, therefore it's evidently if you turn it around and you assume the least votes you got, the more important the story must have been to people. That was the most important of them all. And I thought we couldn't give a crap about our those silly-ass Brits. I couldn't. They give me the schmitz, the Brits, especially with all that royalty crap, man, with the Queen and Prince William and Prince Harry. Oh, jeez. Give me a break. The whole family looks like a bunch of retards. And you want to know why? It's all about centuries of inbreeding. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You do know that.
Oh, yeah.
About the Battenbergs? I mean, sure. The House of Windsor?
Well, they couldn't dilute that royal blood with comedy.
Speaking of Windsor, I understand they got a lot of topless bars. They're getting. There was an article the other day about how the Detroit News is promoting the Super Bowl is in Detroit. Am I right about that, Josh?
I actually don't know.
Do me a favor and Google it.
All right.
Because I'm sure that's the one they were talking about. They probably weren't talking about, like, the 2007 Super Bowl. So anyway, there are all these ads being put out in the Detroit News, and a big article about, well, come right across the Ambassador Bridge to Windsor, and it's like Sin City. They got all these nudie bars, and prostitution is legal there, and the swing clubs, and all of these perverted things, which, of course, all the guys going to ball games, they want that, They want to go to real ball games. What does it say for the 2006 Super Bowl? Super Bowl 40, besides the fact that the Patriots will kick ass. What does it say? Haven't got it yet? Jesus, man, you think this was like rocket science. I'm sure it must be in... Huh?
It might not be rocket science, but it is brain surgery.
It must be in Detroit.
Brainstem surgery.
Oh, boy, I sure missed the Chintiki. Oh, brother. Great Polynesian restaurant. And the Mai Kai. The Mai Kai, I think, was in Cheektowaga in Buffalo. Remember those days? No, you probably don't. What was the other one? There was one in South Florida, the big Polynesian joint. Began with a T. That'll come to me.
Mai Tai.
The Mai Tai also. That was a place where the food wasn't all that big of a deal. It was the show they put on, the Polynesian show.
Don't say was. Is.
It's still there, the Mai Tai, like I said. Trader Vic's, that's the one I was thinking of. There was one in South Florida, and there was one in Detroit. You're still...
yes,
Googling?
You're right. It's Detroit.
Oh, why did you do it so fast? We could have milked that till about 1:58.
Well, then I'm
hey, if you're in a dead-end job like Josh Cordes, if you're underpaid like Josh, if you're New Year... And by the way, it is past the New Year. How's your raise coming, by the way?
What raise?
No, seriously. If Clarence comes in there again tomorrow or Friday, or tomorrow being Friday, or whenever... don't wuss around, man. Let's put his feet to the floor.
Yeah.
Now that Greg is gone and that, 80s zillion a year he was sucking out of that place, they sure ought to have a few extra bucks for you.
Should I go talk to Joe Bell then?
Talk to Joe Bell. I hear he's a really good guy, and tell him that if you don't get your raise, I'm walking out. That's all.
Okay.
Hey, if you're in a dead-end job or underpaid, if your New Year's resolution is to get you a high-paying career, then you ought to act now. Pick up that phone and call our friends at Fast Train. Toll-free, 1-866-FAST-TRAIN. Fast Train will get you trained and ready for that new high-paying career in just a few short months. That's correct. You can get your new high-paying career in just a few short months and really change your life and start getting a big fat one and a paycheck, too. The demand for medical coding specialists and computer professionals is an all-time high right now, and Fast Train offers convenient day, evening, and weekend classes, job placement assistance, and financial aid for people who qualify. So pick up that phone and call Fast Train at 1-866-FAST TRAIN. They placed over 100 individuals just like you last year. Check Fast Train out on the web at fasttrain.com, but act now in order to obtain that new high-paying career because classes are filling up pretty quick. Don't miss the train of opportunity this year. Change your life, get you a paycheck, and a life that goes along with it. Call 866-FAST-TRAIN. This year, make your New Year's resolution a reality by making that call. Fast Train, toll-free, 1-866-FAST-TRAIN.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
crap, all the slime, all the time.
Next time you're visiting a loved one who is dying from an incurable disease, here's some good news you can tell them that's certain to cheer them up. Your friendly pharmaceutical companies now have a miraculous cure for
restless leg syndrome. I got a restless leg. My restless leg won't settle down.
Stop your restless legs now with new oxymurmalstein.
I can't stop! I can't stop tap dancing! Somebody help me!
Here, try an oxymurmalstein.
Say, I'm completely paralyzed from the waist down. Thank you, oxymurmalstein.
Side effects include running, jumping, and leaping off a building. If you suffer from rubbery, restless legs, ask your butcher, I mean doctor, for oxymurmalstein.
Stop! Stop!
Uh-oh.
I think he was right the first time, Dr. Butcher. Same difference. 120 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday, man, January the 5th. Every day that passes, we're getting closer and closer to that March 1st day. My. Look out. Oh, we had a couple of good calls from Mike during your vacation, too.
Mike?
Line Mike.
Oh,
good
Mike.
calls. Good calls. We, actually interacted.
Yeah, I got no problem with him.
Yeah, you do.
I do?
Well, you don't know it yet, but you do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, by the way, that educator, the Afghan educator that was teaching the girls and got beheaded, that was in front of his family for maximum impact.
Ah, yeah. They love the drama.
I mentioned that. They just put that on there now. Yeah, just for maximum impact. So none of you folks will be doing this no more. Educating those girls my ass. Oh, speaking of a religious poppycock, 2 NBC affiliates in Arkansas and Indiana. What a surprise. Are turning the page on upcoming series, The Book of Daniel, which has been drawing criticism for its portrayal of Christianity. The series depicts an Episcopalian minister played by Aidan Quinn struggling with an addiction to Vicodin, among other problems in his diocese. Jesus is actually a character on the series depicted in imagined conversations with the minister. Last month, the conservative right-wing lunatics, the American Family Association, began calling on affiliates and advertisers to bail out of Daniel. Many stations have been flooded with emails and calls from viewers objecting to the series. I got a solution for them. Don't watch it. KARK-TV in Little Rock, Arkansas, and WTWO, W2-TV in Terre Haute, Indiana, announced yesterday they would preempt Daniel, which premieres Friday at 9 p.m. Both are owned by Next Star Broadcasting. KARK-TV declined to air Daniel, citing careful consideration of viewer feedback. Little Rock's WB affiliate, KWBF-TV, will air Daniel instead. So it's still going to be on, but it's just to be on the WB, which, of course, we know what a bunch of heathens they are. Anybody that would put on Tom Welling with that gigantic swelling. However, WTWO General Manager Dwayne Lammer said he's not preempting Daniel due to its content, but rather to protest what the viewers, what he views as the network's strong-arm approach to affiliates, as well as inconsistent federal oversight of indecent content. This has nothing to do with the program, has nothing to do with the AFA, Lammer said. I think the system is screwed up. I think the network thinks we're going to do whatever they tell us to do. I think the regulatory environment is flawed. The network stands by the series, according to V.V. Ziegler, Executive VP. I wonder if V.V. is kin to Steve Ziegler. Probably got better hair.
I'll ask.
Executive VP Current Programming at NBC Entertainment, who cautioned not to judge the series on the basis of promotions for the show. People are reacting based on not having seen it, she said. They're seeing the advertising, not seeing what the core of the show is. I heard it's rotten to the core. Jack Kenny, executive producer of Daniel, dismissed claims that the series is anti-Christian. Oh, damn it. We are not in any way satirizing Christianity or Jesus, he said. It's done with love, honoring those things. Well, I guess we'll still have to watch South Park. Twice. But Lammers isn't taking exception with Daniel. Rather, he's using the preemption to air multiple grievances with industry practice, especially network affiliate relations. And he goes on, bada-beep, bada-boop, bada. WTWO is alone so far in its preemption of Daniel, but other affiliates wrestle with the decision. They're wrestling with it. I wonder if that's Christian wrestling they're doing. Wouldn't you think?
Greco-Roman, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, the Christian Wrestling League. Josh didn't believe that until he looked it up.
I thought it was fake, man.
Yeah. Leave it to ABC News, man. They got a religious segment at the end. If you don't like the newscast, just stick around for the prayer at the end of the show, okay? You'll love ABC News. It sucks. There's been an enormous amount of discussion about the show, said Steve Polson, Vice President of Marketing at KSL-TV, the NBC affiliate in Salt Lake City. This one happens to have religious overtones to it. It's causing a little stir. We determined on this one to let the viewers determine the success. In other words, let them decide. You want to watch it, fine. If not, bye-bye. Like this show. You like it, great. If you don't like it, bye-bye, although you won't leave anyway. We know that. KSL, which caters to a heavily Mormon viewership, has not been shy about joining the small group of stations that have preempted NBC programming in recent past. Among the NBC series that have been yanked in recent years include Coupling, God, the Devil, and Bob, and Stressed Eric. You think Eric is stressed?
Well, parts of him are.
Let's see. Let me take a look and see. Now, see, he didn't put tomorrow's poll on there yet. Not that I see. I shouldn't have said that. Now he'll put it on there. Just a joke, Eric. Lammers, who also serves as Executive VP and Chief Operating Officer of WTW, a parent company Nexstar Broadcasting, is known for taking aggressive stands on behalf of his company. He pulled multiple Nexstar-owned stations off Cox Communications and Cable One systems for most of last year in order to negotiate cash for carriage. Well, that's industry crap that nobody cares about. Cash for carriage, my ass. 5670560. Pound 560. Your take, Skipper Chuck dies. USC blows the Rose Bowl last night in one of the most exciting games ever played. All of these things going on. And these people are just the usual stuff, you know, bada beep, bada boop, bada beep. Same old crap. Never will change. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
Pretty good, Pally. What do you got?
Good. Listen, before the game last night, I was flipping on my TV, and I looked at VH1, a show called 40 Greatest Pranks. Did you ever see it?
No.
Yeah, well, they just had one prank on there. They were talking about before he was elected in the office. After he got elected in the office, some prankster in the White House on every keyboard popped the W off because that was his logo to his campaign. W, you know, holding up 3 fingers. And they said it was like ranked the 16th greatest prank in history where some prankster, every keyboard or typewriter in the White House, they pulled the W letter off so no one could type that letter.
I'll be damned.
I thought that was pretty fun.
I see a little symbolism involved there, too.
Yeah, well, they also went on the show and how they showed one of his speeches where he was going on. They showed Al Gore talking about the Internet and all that. He's like, well, you know, he thinks I'm dumb. We'll see who the smart one is. If you look at the Internet address, what's the first letter in it? He goes, W. And he goes, now there's 3 of them, WWW. So I'm 3 times smarter than Al Gore.
Oh, man.
It was funny, man. It was funny as that.
Thanks for the good news, Pally.
You talk about symbolism, right? All these people talk about George Bush thinks he's God. And you start reading the Bible, and God, what was God known for? Destroying a lot of lives, right?
Well, he's living up to it, baby.
I'm telling you, he thinks he's God. He figured, well, you know, Jesus can flood the earth. I'll just, kill everybody with arms, you know?
Okay. Have a great life, Pally. I'll pray for you. Okay. Better get with the program, baby. Making subversive calls like that on the radio, they'll recognize your voice. They'll be tapping on your door 3 o'clock this morning, and then bada bing! You know? Won't see him no more. Good caller, but it won't be long for this earth. You don't be knocking the Fourth Reich with that kind of anti-American verbiage.
They have days.
That's correct. WQAM, hello.
George is so caught up in reverence.
WQAM, hello.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, let me get here where I can speak in private.
Okay.
Well, my drug habit's better
than
yours. My drug habit's better than yours.
Is that Rush?
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Rush. Wow. 567. I told you, man. See, you were away for a while, and I know you did a couple of shows since you've been back, but you missed the good stuff lately. It's been phenomenal. Because along with that stuff from the Caribbean, a lot of the good drugs are coming in too. That's why Colombia is no longer the leader. Now it's Mexico has passed them like they were standing still in that white powder. And most of it, of course, is coming flooding across the border with all those illegal aliens that George Bush loves and that Lou Dobbs is so crazy about. You know, the interesting thing about Lou Dobbs is he's hysterical about illegal aliens and about outsourcing of jobs and just about everything else that the Bush people are doing. But his true colors show every time, like the ratings come out, the approval ratings. Well, the president, don't count him out yet. He just went up a couple of points. You know. He just can't help himself, man. He's kind of like Miss Drudge in drag. Hey, Matt.
You fairy.
28 after 1 at QAM. Resolve yourself to get a better night's sleep this year in 2006 by calling 1-800-MATTRESS. Do it right now, because nothing's got a bigger impact on your daily health, well-being, and productivity than a good night's sleep. And you can get one as soon as tonight if you call Dial a Mattress right now at 1-800-MATTRESS. If your mattress is more than 10 years old or it's noticeably sagging or lumpy and you're not getting a good night's sleep, guess what? Time for a new one. And when you call Dial a Mattress, you can choose from the complete line of all the top names in the business: Sealy, Simmons, Serta, King Coil, Tempur-Pedic, and Stearns & Foster Hewitt. Dial a Mattress takes same-day orders all day long from Kendall to Stewart, from Palm Beach to Fort Myers. And like always, you still pick the 2-hour window, the date and when you want your mattress delivered, and they show up 99.7% of the time on time. Like noon to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 4, whatever. A lot of folks at QM are satisfied Dial a Mattress customers, including yours truly. I know you will be too. It's a guarantee. So start off the year right with a new mattress from Dial a Mattress. Don't put off getting a better night's sleep any longer. Pick up that phone right now and give them a call at 1-800-MATTRESS, 1-800-MATTRESS, or log on to their website at mattress.com. Dial a Mattress, the only smart, the only easy way to get you a great night's sleep. Call 1-800-MATTRES. Leave off the last S because it stands for Sensational Stupendous Savings.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QA.
Bitch. Absolutely.
Well, don't miss the new movie from the summer of '63. It's the story of two ranch hands who were cold and horny. Brokeback Mountain's the name, and you'll never be quite the same. You'll be trouble deep. 'Cause as the temperature was dropping, Dan's hot tent was busy hopping. When those two men found love amongst all the sheep. 'Cause they're two gay cowboys, man-hoes, with their wranglers tight. They were having a moonlit sword fight every night. Yeah, those two gay cowboys, boy toast. He knew he loved Jack, even though he had a hairy back. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
You fairy.
Well, I tell you one thing, we got 80,000 bits about that Bareback Mountain.
Do it.
And I do want the audience to know that both George and Josh have seen the movie. They just went with the Groucho glasses. The Groucho glasses and the schnoz and the mustache.
Changed our whole attitude.
Right.
About cowboys.
Oh, gee, this thing didn't print out. I hate that. Don't you hate when that happens?
I do. Eric wants me to tell you that the poll is ready to
I already saw it. I was just going to rip him in the ass. Quit being so sensitive, Fats. I was just joking him. Didn't I tell you he is so sensitive that as soon as I said it, he would put the new one up there, and it's there. I'm not changing it yet, though. Well, I'll just read it right off the CNN website. One of our least favorite needle-nosed bitches. Paris Hilton. What the hell did I do that for? See, that thing moved again.
Psyched us out.
Oh, it's break time. Like I said, Paris Hilton. There you go.
You bitch, you slut, you whore.
Well, I was close. I just had my thumb on it. Paris Hilton's accused of spewing vicious lies about an altercation with a romantic rival at a London nightclub and harassing business promoter in 2 lawsuits set for court this month. Good. Squeeze every dime out of that bitch. The first suit pits the hotel heiress actress, actress my ass, against Diamond heiress actress Zeta Graff, who's seeking at least $10 million in damages for Hilton's comments in a July New York Post story. The paper reported that Graff, who once dated Hilton's then-fiancé, Greek shipping maggot, Paris, Lapsus, went berserk at the nightclub and had tried to strangle Hilton and attempted to steal her diamond necklace. Graff denies the report and claims that Hilton said, "I'm going to destroy you," after trying to oust her from the club, according to the suit. Oh, God. Rich people with too much time on their hands, you know what? Spoiled little rich kids. I'm going to get your ass, you know. Who cares? God. I would say next to Stern, she's like certainly in the top 5 as far as publicity hounds are concerned.
Oh, I thought you were going to say as far as big noses are concerned.
Oh, she's not in the same category. Well, she doesn't have a big nose. She's got a needle nose, kind of like Rita Cosby.
It's big and needly.
How about her nose?
That, too.
Like Rita Cosby.
Rita Cosby.
No idea. No, seriously. Well, when you actually could drive yourself crazy if you turn on the TV, and occasionally I will, just for amusement's sake, like the coal mine thing. She was right there. She was right there with the son of one of the guys who eventually, and this is before we found out that he died, but And she's standing there and she's patting him on the back and asking the most idiotic questions, like, well, what are your thoughts now? Oh, of course she's like, what are your thoughts? She can't speak. She can't speak.
She can't speak.
She's grotesque looking. She looks like the ship just landed and they threw her ass off and she can't speak. But other than that, she's a tremendous urinalist. My God, you people at MSNBC, they are so unbelievably desperate. Now, they got a new weekend show they're promoting. Maury and Connie.
Okay.
Maury Pupik and Connie Chung.
Be afraid.
Yeah.
Be very afraid.
And the promo suggests that they're like taking each other on, kind of like point counterpoint and yada. Oh, I mean, you people at MSNBC. I'd suggest if you want to do something good, just expand the Olbermann show countdown to 4 hours, and take that damn Chris Matthews who talks like a retard out of the corner of his mouth. Take him and the Mother Tucker Carlson in his bow tie and boring Joe Scarborough and just Schmidt can the whole deal. And that Dan Abrams, who's claimed to fame, is that his daddy was a famous lawyer, and another one who's got a big mouth about everything and usually doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Isn't that sad? What we need in town is another good sports station. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Let's have 20 more sports stations in South Florida. So I wasn't here for the trend, but the rumor has it that 790 has still got mostly numbers that start with O. And the Humper was telling me they were like 25th in the previous trend and 25th again. There's something to be said for consistency, Joel Feinberg. Nice going, baby. Virtually no measurable audience most of the day. Aren't you proud?
As punch.
They scared Greg Reed right out of the market, I'll tell you that. WQAM, hello.
There's a lot of money in that white powder pop.
Yep. Okay. WQAM, hello.
What's going on, Neil?
Yes, sir.
I got satellite. You're the only show I listen to, but I do love my satellite. I'm not going to lie.
Which one you got?
XM.
Really?
And I found Phil Henry's on there. He sucks just as much on satellite as he does in regular radio.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Hey, listen, just want to tell you, I'll still be listening to you, but it might pay off, man, because I could put to any station and just find some songs that you'll never hear on regular radio. And I love rap.
I'm sure of that, especially in South Florida.
Oh, yeah, especially South Florida.
Okay, thanks
for
your...
One more thing. Those people in West Virginia shouldn't be so upset. They got the news that 12 miners were alive and one was dead. Just pretend you still got the same news and that one was dead was your family member. That's all.
Oh, man. I thought that I was a sick, heartless bastard. Well, I am, but nevertheless. Now, he said something very important there about that satellite radio thing, because Howard starts, when is it, next Monday? And then, of course, everybody will be done. Everybody's going to take their terrestrial radio and throw it in the bathtub. Even the ones in their cars.
Even
the
yank it out. HD digital radio.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I guarantee you, he won't be on HD digital like us here at QAM, baby. We're HD. Can't you tell the way it sounds? Oh, my God, it is as queer as a bell. I wonder if that was the bell that Quasimodo was ringing. We got a shot at 1,300 votes, you know what, during the show? We got 1280. What do you think? 1280. Is that WGVA in Geneva, New York? I don't remember a station on 1280. How about 1180? WHAM in Rochester. And 1190 WOWO in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Boy, I'm going to tell you, you really missed it, boys and girls, when radio was really something that was... I keep saying this, and it's true. Radio was fabulous. AM radio, even. I don't think there was ever a time when FM radio was what you'd call fabulous, at least not in South Florida. Not in anywhere that I've been, huh?
The old Y100?
What?
Yeah, that was groundbreaking stuff. Everybody copied it from coast to coast.
Right, well, that was Dick Casper put that thing on the air. Cecil Heftel and Dick Casper, rest in peace.
I used to alternate.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 5
Snooze? But what about...
Or booze?
Absolutely.
Jessica and Nick are over. Guess all the rumors were true. Jess can date the jackass guy. Nick's got strippers to do. Jessica and Nick are over, and now both of them are free. I'll miss that goofy newlywed show on MTV. Oh no, her father Joe lied to all of us. With any luck, he'll be run down by a bus. Jessica and Nick are over. Sometimes that's just how it goes. marry someone who thinks wings come from buffalo. Oh no, her father Joe lied, he's such a pain. With any luck he'll be run down by a train. Jessica and Nick are over, and now that their love is gone, the tabloids will go back to writing about Jen and Vince Vaughn.
Speaking of the Hurricanes, I know there's not too many people talking about that grotesque altercation in the tunnel at the end of the 40-3 thrashing they took in the Chicks Afraid Bowl.
Yeah, they got a beating twice.
Yeah. That's always really classy, you know, when you get blown off the field 40-3, and then you start gooning it up again in the tunnel after the game. That you know, if all else fails, that you win, goon it up, baby, goon it up. And that seems to be it. Well, you know, we're going to fire a bunch of coaches and fire everybody else, and Paul D. and Donna Shillelagh and everybody, because we're pissed off. They lost 3 games in one season, man. Aren't we cursed down here, boys? And the Dolphins, even though they won their last 6 and they wound up with a winning record, 9-7, don't make the playoffs again. Aren't we cursed down here, guys? 1290 means we got 10 more votes to 1,300 last time I checked. You think we ought to do that?
You can do it!
Yeah, we can do it. The audience can do 1291. They're pouring in by the ones now. Oh, your buddy on line 9 is back again, calling from, probably it's an in-town call, too. He's probably dialing long distance because he wants special attention. No, I'm serious. WQAM, hello.
Jesus, please.
Oh, God. Jesus, please. Cut him in the middle of a prayer. Please help him out.
Please,
he needs
please.
it. WQAM, hello.
Oh, hey, Neil. I've been meaning to call you about your, you're always talking about the sales department. It's true what you say, that the ads are so bad. Sometimes I don't know if they're bits or not. I don't know if you've ever heard them.
Well, we're not going to talk about our ads because we
I
have
know,
so few. We don't want to lose anything. Yeah.
I know, but some of them
that's not what I'm talking about. The sales department doesn't make the ads. The sales department are the ones that are supposed to sell them.
No, I know, but who they sell to? Some of these people are crazy, like the woman for the restaurant.
Yeah, okay, well, whatever. Okay, there she goes again.
They just
say hi to Joel, by the way. Say hi to Joel Feinberg for me. I guess they figure I'd be impressed because it's a female voice, so therefore we're going to leave her on to, trash whoever the hell she wants. 567-0560. Oh, he's back. WQAM, breather line. It's the Eddie Wannabe.
Oh, man, Eddie Envy.
No, he's been called for a while now, this guy. He's the Eddie Wannabe. I think we probably like... Now, who was telling me? Is it you that doesn't like the Eddie thing? Or was it Josh?
No, that's me.
Oh, that's Josh. Josh like gets he gets all freaked out with that Eddie
This is Eddie. This is Eddie.
He just ran out of steam. Too bad he didn't keep going on forever. I think that's the sound of South Florida crying out for help. Isn't that a cry for help?
Oh, if anything was.
And the best part of it is, it was a voicemail. In other words, he wasn't talking to anybody. He was just leaving a message.
It's not the only one that he's left. It just happens to be the best one that he's left.
Oh, that happened. You can't beat that. You can't beat that with a stick.
He might try.
Now, that could be a good poll question. Who's more coherent, Dick Clark, your president, or Eddie? I think it's a good. I think it's a toss-up.
Helen Keller, Terry Schiavo,
right?
Rita
Terry
Crosby.
Schiavo and her
Cube.
What do you think? Dover's much maligned school policy of presenting intelligent design as an alternative to evolution was officially relegated to the history books Tuesday night of this week.
Oh!
On a voice vote and with no discussion beforehand, the newly elected Dover Area School Board unanimously rescinded the policy. 2 weeks earlier, a judge ruled the policy unconstitutional. This is it, new school board president Bernadette Reinking said Tuesday, indicating the vote was final and the case was closed. A different group on the school board, a bunch of Farbissen, had been in control when the policy was approved in October 2004, a bunch of Goyim gone wild. The policy required that a statement be read to Dover public school students about intelligent design before ninth grade biology class lessons. Isn't that interesting how they keep trying to find all these good moralistic people who are so much better and holier than we are? They keep trying to find all these dishonest and backdoor ways, of trying to sneak all of these things in there.
Anything is justified to get you into heaven.
Right, so they can push over all of their views over everybody else. Right. We're going to make you an offer you can't. That must be where the mob got that from the religionists. We're going to make you an offer you can't refuse.
They were the Romans, weren't they?
The statement said Darwin's theory is not a fact and has inexplicable gaps. It also referred students to an intelligent design book of pandas and people. 8 families sued, well, we know the rest of it, okay? But at least it's official. Most of the previous board members who had defended the policy were ousted in the November election, replaced, not most, all of them, replaced by candidates who pledged to eliminate the policy, and they did. In Kansas, I would have to say, I used to think it was like Louisiana, but after the hurricane, we probably ought to lay off of them a little bit, or maybe Mississippi or Alabama or even Florida. But definitely the most backwater state has got to be Kansas, isn't it?
Yes.
The home of Fred Phelps and the home of the Flat Earth crowd. In Kansas, where state officials have been arguing over the teaching of evolution since 1999, education officials recently approved science standards that treat evolution as a flawed theory. And obviously the people who live in Kansas are living proof of that. In Georgia, the state school superintendent drew protest in 2004 for proposing a science curriculum that replaced the word evolution with changes over time. Like if you look in the mirror, you'll see all those changes over time. Believe me, they're not good.
Look, that's it. It grows while I watch.
Last year, a federal judge ordered Cobb County schools to remove from biology textbooks stickers that called evolution a theory, not a fact. Yeah, they're sticking it. They just put a sticker on it. Well, that's a bunch of crap. We're just sticking it. And that's my message to all those yahoos in Kansas and Georgia, is stick it.
This is Neil Rogers.
Stick it and stick it. Coming up tonight on Inside the Behind a True Hollywood Celebrity Music Biography Profile Story. First, there was Band-Aid. A bunch of lame-ass British people raising money for charity. Well, no bunch of limeys are going to make America look bad. Not when we can upchuck something like USA for Africa.
We are the world. We are children.
Bob Dylan was one of the many legendary artists who performed on We Are the World. He speaks here through a translator.
Basically, nothing says we care about hunger more than a bunch of rich rock stars taking 15 minutes of their valuable time to sing and eat catered food.
Oh, yeah, the food for USA for Africa was freaking unbelievable. Billy Joel, who would go on to fame as a drunk driver, was also there. They had this shrimp wrapped in bacon thing. I don't know what they did to it. Maybe they marinated it in something, but man, I can taste. Huey Lewis agreed.
Oh, definitely. What I remember most about coming together to fight hunger in Africa was the Bavarian mint strudel.
Bruce Springsteen was there as well. Here he speaks through a translator.
Basically, we wanted to show the British that when it comes to bringing a bunch of jerk-off celebrities together to raise money for charity, USA kicks ass.
USA for Africa. It was all about getting food to the people who need it. And eventually getting it to poor people, too. It's a big, juicy,
just hang on. We're singing as fast as we can, okay? We're pumping out the hits as fast as... Although I hate to admit this.
What's that?
But I actually like that song.
Right, Do They Know It's Christmas song.
We are...
Oh, no, you were talking about
We Are the World.
Oh, I hate that song.
You do?
I like the Do They Know It's Christmas song, the British one.
Well, that's okay. But I like it's not embarrassing to admit you like that, but We Are the World, that's really embarrassing.
Well, I think it's embarrassing to admit either one.
I like the video. I enjoyed it. The only thing, of course, it was ridiculous on the face of it, and a lot of us got sucked into it. I raised $10,000 for that. I wonder who ate off of that $10,000.
All for me.
Oh, no. That's where that money went. To the pizza burglar. Oh, brother. I sure hope he heard that because I know he listens religiously. I hope he heard that story at the beginning of the show about that pizza thief. We're not putting up with that no more. Just ask old Lionel Tate, man. Don't be late if you're delivering to Lionel Tate. 1,310 votes today on the musical dial. That's not too bad. Of course, we started the poll about, a week ago?
Yeah.
The most overdone news story of the past year is the missing chick in Aruba and 457. But you know something, in spite of all the coverage? Yeah. I still don't know what the conclusion of it was. Is there like an ending? What happened?
Shark food, man. They fed her to the sharks. They knew that a long time ago. They just didn't want to admit it and didn't want to give up and didn't want to say, look, man, you're...
Now, how do you know that? Are you just guessing?
That's what the Inquirer said.
Oh, the Inquirer said...
They have an area on the island where they would dump garbage that used to be like a fish refinery where they would process fish and dump the guts into the ocean, and sharks were in a habit of congregating there for the swill that they would dump into the ocean.
In other words, they used her and abused her, and then they fed her to the sharks?
And then they dumped her into that area where the sharks eat anything that you dump into that area.
All right. Well, Rita Cosby spent so much time down there. Probably the sharks would have spit her ass out.
Oh, their jaws only get so big.
Oh, my God. Talk about the jaws of life. Good golly, Miss Molly. She's probably, to me, the most unctuous person that's ever on television anywhere now. I can't think of anybody even close. Even Paris Hilton seems like a breath of fresh air compared to Rita Cosby.
I don't know. Darren Kagan kind of grosses me out.
No. See, you're holding that Rush thing against her, and so is he. He's holding that thing against her. What a thought that is. Doesn't that make you want to vomit?
Twice.
Missing chick in Aruba wins hands down your pants, 457. She's gone. She's shark food. Fish food. Oh, fish food. Terry and her cube, 332. The Runaway Bride, 237. Maybe she's at 7-Eleven getting a Slurpee for her boyfriend. Now, whatever did happen with that? Not that I care. I'm just wondering, because you're always saying we need to get the follow-up like in Magnolia, the ending.
Closure. She did her community service, and she is still undergoing psychological treatment as an outpatient.
Well, that's a good idea. Yeah. At least on an inpatient would be even better. Michael Jackson trial 104. Guilty as hell. Fort Lauderdale kid goes to Iraq, 70. Hurricane Katrina, 26. Rosa Parks dies, 22. Who did more? The Iraq War, 15. New Nazi Pope, 12. Coal miners, 10. You wait, in about 6 months we take the poll again. The coal miners, the thing that'll have like 1,000.
Oh, by the way, don't hang up after the show. I got to ask you something.
Republican scandals, 8. Supreme Court nominations, 7. Iraq election, 6. Hurricane Wilma, 2. Asian earthquakes, 2. And the London bombings in the London...
Cube!
0. The big O.
Bye, bye, bye!